and gentlemen, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Locacacast. I'm Zach. This is your co-host, Chris.
Yeah.
And I'm Casey Aces, man. We're coming back at you live with another Locacacast.
That is so good. How do you
It's more like,
slip off of it
more,
at the
more
end?
more like the ghost of Casey Kasem.
Oh,
like-
God.
Here I am, Casey D. Kasems.
The spirit of him is still with us today.
It's true.
It's your stand.
I summon him every time I do the Shaggy impression.
It's your ability. It's like perfect mimicry, but only of this one voice.
But
Powered by
only
a
of
soul.
one specific voice, exactly.
Speaking of powered by a soul, I was playing Ocarina of Time recently. Me and my mom are going
Did you
back
say
to it. We're going to finally finish it.
Ocarina of Time?
Yes. And if you catch a Poe in that game, you know, a Poe, you put him in a bottle. Fairies heal you completely. A Poe is like a currency. You're supposed to go trade it in for rupees and like collectibles and shit. But you can actually just eat it. You can actually just like drink the Poe straight from the bottle if you put it on one of the C buttons and just press it. And it gives you one heart. That's so fucked up to me. That
I don't remember this. Yeah.
Drinking a human soul gives you exactly one heart because you consumed one life.
That you need to carry on. What? I don't.
A dark concept.
Does this imply that by default Link has 3 souls inside of him?
That's the thing. That's what trips me out about it. If a Poe, a dead human soul wandering the earth as a Poe, if you can bottle that and drink it and gain exactly one heart, then what the fuck was young Link doing spawning in as a child with 3? What does that mean? He was as strong as 3 adult people. His life was worth as much as 3 complete humans when he was 7.
Josuke only had 2.
He was gobbling up souls like they were going out of style.
Oh man, Merc, that thing you just said just made me insanely curious. I wonder what would happen if Josuke Higashikata from Part 8 died. What would we see going up into the sky? Would we see Josefumi and Kira?
Oh God! Oh my God! I just had a friend start getting into JOJOLands, and every time they ask me a question, I'm like, "Do you want the spoiler answer?" And they're like, "No," and I'm like, "Well, then I can't answer."
Well, then come back to me when you're done.
That actually is an
read.
interesting question because, like, you know, it's supposed to be equivalent exchange, right? He's exactly one half Kira, one half Josefumi.
Right.
But in practice, like, we know he got more of he got Kira's ball.
Yeah.
Left Kira with nothing.
And that's about it. That's pretty much where that exchange began and ended.
Well, I think he's
No,
like
I mean,
51%
like,
one and 49%
Like,
the other.
aren't his eyes drawn like as like half and half?
Yeah, they did that like at the
the
beginning
iris?
and then kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, same with like the bubbles, how it was half a killer queen bubble and half of a soft and wet bubble, but then the bubbles became lines. So I don't
Yeah.
know what the logistics of that is anymore. I have no idea anymore, even a little bit.
Because it would have to have been Josefumi whose stand bubbles were also lines. But that doesn't make any sense because he's not carrying the spin.
Yeah, which one of them had the spin before?
Honestly, the fact that in the volume re-release of the freaking of the chapter where we see Carrera's photo of the 3 of them, the fact that he's removed the birthmark from Josefumi is like such a huge betrayal to me. It breaks my fucking heart because it spent so many years thinking about that and what it could mean, and it's like, just an oopsie. I didn't mean it.
Haha.
It hurts
Like,
my heart.
you don't get to call an oopsie on that, like, directly informed months.
And if
if
you
not
were going to
years
call an
of
oopsie, you should have
speculation.
called it sooner. Like, you do that immediately. You do that the following week. Hey, by the way, I'm retconning that, actually.
Exactly, you don't wait until however long after the fact.
Nah, he's too unchained.
Rocky.
He got too long and messy with it. He's too unchained. He can do whatever he wants, and that's like a benefit and a curse.
It really is, huh?
But I want to go back to the Josuke dying thing. Would we see the two of their souls split off and go fly away, or is it sort of like a Foo Fighters thing where it's like Josuke dies, but he's like aware that this means he has a soul and that he really
that
did
he
exist in the first
that
place.
he is himself
Right.
now.
An identity of his own has been created because it's a new soul.
For that, I have to refer you to an episode of Star Trek Voyager.
Yes, I know. God damn it, the Tuvok and Neelix thing. Fuck.
By the name of Tuvix.
Yes, god damn it, I know all about it. I haven't seen it though. I know people bring it up a lot.
Yeah, Tuvok and Neelix, for those who don't know, get fused together into a new being called Tuvix, who is his own guy. But then at the end of the episode, they decide to kill him to bring back the other two. So,
yeah, it's like a classic, like, oh no, this wacky situation has happened. We have to undo it. But Tuvix is like, I like being Tuvix. Don't undo me. I'm a unique individual. I have a right to live. And they're like, no, I'm sorry. You're too weird to live. We're going to kill you.
Too weird to live. Too strange to die.
Yeah, if a colony of plankton has a distinct identity as a soul, then yeah, Josuke probably also has a distinct soul.
I was going to say option 3, just Josefumi's soul comes out of him because Kira's desiccated, dried out husk of a body that they found on the beach. Probably that means his soul already died and left.
Well, yeah, I was going to say
his soul is also fused.
Yeah, so that's where the soul went. When it came out the body, it got fused into Josefumi's bod, which is now both of them. It didn't just fly off. Of course. Soul's in there too.
Interesting.
The real question is, does the spirit also have 4 balls?
Oh God.
I don't want to think about that.
Is the soul stored in the balls? Is that why he has
stored
4
in the
of
heart.
them? Oh. I see.
That's why, when you consume a Poe soul, you gain a heart.
Heart is stored in the soul. And soul, stored in the heart. Hi, welcome to the Locacacast. We're getting the metaphysics down. We're getting the logistical, spiritual, physical connections all sorted out. Heart stored in the soul stored in the heart. Alright.
And piss, as always, is stored in the balls.
Did you know that voice is stored in the teeth?
Huh? What?
Pee is stored in the balls, and voice is stored in the teeth.
I guess by that logic it would be.
Yeah, of course. I mean, just say yes it is, and we can move on and accept that as true. Anyway. What was
know.
everyone's
Hey, did you say tea or teeth? Because both of those are equally funny.
The voice is stored in the teeth. You know, the chompy bits you have in your mouth, the teeth.
The vibrations of your teeth create
that's where
voice.
Giorno stores the piss.
Imagine
it is true.
Fucking ape biting you and killing you.
Imagine, if you will, a big, giant, fucking, scary ape.
Biting you and killing you and beating you to death.
And pulling you apart and killing you and biting you to death.
Cool. Anyway, how was everyone's month since the last time we spoke? It's been a minute. I feel like I've been through a lot. Last time we did this podcast, I hadn't even gone to Saguaro Man yet. And now it's been a month, and I'm like gearing up to go to another one.
Another one?
Yeah, there's another little burn event happening.
How many Swargano Mans are there?
Alright, well, I'll talk about that in a minute. How was your guys' months?
Very good.
Relatively, yeah. Oh, you go ahead, sorry.
I started watching the X-Men animated series.
Yeah, I saw you posted about that on the Discord.
Not the new one, not yet, because that's a sequel to the original. I actually started watching the original, and I am surprised by how fast that series moved. Because like we got Sentinels in season 1, and I said this on West, which is our private server, but I'll say it here.
Mm-hmm.
That show does more with one season than I think the original X-Men franchise did in like 5 or 6 movies.
I don't doubt that.
I like how you had to clarify. No, I'm not watching X-Men 97. I'm watching X-Men 97.
X-Men 97.
It's not the Keyblade. It's the
Well, technically,
Keyblade.
Oh god,
it
I
was
hate the Keyblade.
actually it's 92, Zach. We got 5 seasons.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was the title of the new series was referring to the year of the original series. But yeah, it is pretty 1992 now that I think about it. 97 is too late for a cartoon like that to start.
But I basically I got all the way through the middle of season 3, which is the Phoenix Saga. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember you say you watched it as a kid, but never like got to the season 3 Phoenix Saga shit. You never got to like the real heavy hitting content.
No, it's funny. It's funny. Like the last episode that I watched when I was a kid was the last episode before the Phoenix Saga actually started.
That's funny. You were like, it's like the image of the guy who's mining for the diamonds, and he gives up like one sliver before the mother lode. Have you guys seen that image?
Yes,
You know what I
have.
mean.
Because this is a interesting like story is when I was a kid we didn't actually have TV. We had a family friend who basically would put all of these shows like Power Rangers and Batman and X-Men on like a video on a VCR tape, right? He'd record them for his son. And so, like once that kid had grown up, they gave us like this box of videotapes, which had random episodes of all those shows on them, and so that was my television growing up as a kid.
That's so cool, actually, because then you're not just existing in whatever universe the broadcast companies decide to put you in that day. You're not tied to the fucking time schedule. You just have your whole own universe of tapes, and it's like somebody bothered to tape them and keep them, so they must be good in some way, you know? It's like pre-curated for your enjoyment. That's neat.
Ripped for your pleasure.
Have you guys ever
But it's
heard
like I watched a handful of episodes of season 1 and 2 of X-Men, and then I watched the 2-part season premiere of season 3, and that was all that I knew of X-Men the animated series until I started my my X-Men the animated series binge earlier this month.
I love doing that. I take something that I knew in childhood and I will go back and re-experience it. I love that moment when you get to the new shit. You're like, okay, all right, I fully do not recognize any of this shit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're just getting there with Zelda.
For me, that was One Piece.
Well, this also means that like because I've done this binge with the original Mighty Morphin run of Power Rangers, which is what was on the tapes, and I've also done it with the Batman the animated series. So once I get all the way through X-Men the animated series, that's I've completed my childhood.
You've completed your childhood.
That's a dire way of putting it, but
I'm done. I finished my childhood.
I guess I'm done. Yeah, no more memories left to plunder there.
Glass half full here, Casey, because I am almost 30. So
fair enough.
Childhood
over.
Most people complete their childhood around age 18.
Yeah, well, that is fair enough to say.
I've realized something recently about childhood and nostalgia and about things of this nature. I think that I actually hold on to things for too long. Sorry, I'm tired. I think that I actually keep things for too long. Like, for example, my music library. I think that, like, keeping all of my old shit in the rotation, actually, like, I'm syncing all of my old shit from my computer to my new phone every time I get one. And by all my old shit, I mean, like, every Triple Q mashup album that I used to listen to. The entire soundtrack to Homestuck, like all the volumes of the Homestuck OST. And so that shit because it's always in the roto somewhere, I don't think that I actually ever get time to forget about it and be nostalgic for it. You know what I mean? Like, if I had not done that the past 3 phone syncs, then I would go on my iTunes and I'd be like, oh, look at all this old great music I forgot about. God, I remember I used to listen to this. But because I don't let it go, I just keep it around forever. Because I'm, like, afraid to lose it. I'm afraid to forget about it. But only by letting it go can you truly, like, have that nostalgic rediscovery of it. And I think that I'm too much of a hoarder, a pack rat, digitally and literally, to ever let that kind of shit happen. If ever I, like, rediscover something, it's because I lost it. And I just found it in the hoard.
Yeah, I'm more or less the same when it comes to that. I have a very... I get quickly attached to things, so I have a lot of just sentimental value. Like, even going through toys as a kid and, like, having to clear up space and give toys away. I was bad about it then. I was like, no, but these are my toys. And it's like, well, are you going to play with them? What I mean, maybe, but
right now?
they're
You want me to play with them right now? Sure, I'll play with them right now.
Yeah,
Just right now.
They're my toys. I don't want them to be someone else's toys.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I don't want my memories to be someone else's. Go get your own memories.
Your thoughts ain't my thoughts.
You can't tell me what to think.
Have you guys ever seen that? Do you know about that? The Spirit of Truth?
No, what is that?
He's a man on a public access show from like the 80s or 90s or some shit, and he's standing there in a suit against like a horrible blue screen background, and he's reading from a book that he insists is the Bible and is the divine word of God, but it looks like the phone book. And people are calling in. It's like a call-in show. And people call in, and he just immediately, like, somebody calls in and they have kind of a scary, deep voice, and he's like, oh, you the devil. Like, he's just making fun of them, and also, like, whoever calls in, he just immediately treats them like they are an enemy of his faith and his spirituality, and they must be insulted and destroyed.
That's awesome.
This sounds like an early precursor to the Eric Andre show.
Yes, it's incredible, but I don't think the guy's in on the bit. I think he thinks he's Jesus. Because he's fucking standing there, and the person is like... it's just him standing there, and he's kind of got like a cane, and he's like holding the book, and it's just him standing there in the middle of the frame while the camera zooms in and out, and people call him on the phone. And it's called The Spirit of Truth. And there's one bit from it specifically that I love so much. It was this woman calls in, and he's like talking over her like, no, you don't understand, and she's saying something. She's like, I just think that, and he said, nah, 'cause your thoughts ain't my thoughts, bitch. I'm flowing straight from the survival scroll. He calls the book The Survival Scroll.
The Survivor Scroll. He's so
bitch,
right.
I'm flowing straight from the Survival Scroll. And then she's like...
Imagine.
That's a Dracula flow fucking line. I'm flowing straight from the Survival Scroll. This shit ain't nothing to me.
A Vulcan tries to put him in a mind meld. Bitch, your thoughts ain't my thoughts.
Shit ain't nothing to me, man.
Exactly. But right after that, he says that phrase that we just said, and the lady seems like unimpressed and keeps talking and doesn't recognize that it's the survival scroll. And so he turns to his cohort and he says, cut that bitch off! Next caller!
Cut that bitch off.
So cut that bitch off! That was, that's one of Eris's stream sounds. It's one of his, like, donation notifications. He has like 30 weird sounds in a constant shuffle, and cut that bitch off is one of them.
And that show went into a reverse equivalent exchange fusion and became Eric Andre and Dracula Flow.
Yeah.
No, dude, they're like a Steven Universe fusion, and they used to be fused together, and they were called The Spirit of Truth, but ever since they broke up, they've been separately the Eric Andre Show and Dracula Flow.
So you're telling me if I got Dracula Flow in the same room as Eric Andre,
and they
would
kissed?
Combine,
yeah,
and they kissed and like did a dance?
You have to bury them underground near the walleyes.
No, I said it's a
Oh,
Steven
God.
Universe fusion. not a
Steven
fucking-
Universe fusion. Yeah, they busted down sexual style.
They busted
And then they
down
become
sexual
one.
style. It's crazy that Dragon Ball Z and Steven Universe both have like dance-based fusion techniques.
I mean, Dragon Ball set the standard.
Yeah, I mean it's not a surprise why. It's because one was influenced
Yeah.
by the other. But like
Exactly.
dancing as a metaphor for fusion, like, you know, two people vibing together on that level, you know, when you're dancing with somebody and it's just right. I don't know about what this is like because I can't dance, but you know what I mean?
No.
Like the vibes are immaculate and the people literally fuse together.
I am also cursed by my own caucasity, so I
Yeah.
cannot dance.
No, I'm trying. I'm actually trying. I'm like trying to let loose and learn. What?
I tried for a little bit, and then I was like,
What did Merc have to say a second ago? He got lost in the mix.
No, I was repeating what Casey said. Cursed by my own caucasity.
Oh, I thought you said this is not what I want this podcast to be. I thought
no,
you
no,
said
no, no, no.
caucasity.
This is. We are long since past what we want this podcast to be. There's no turning the ship around.
We're well past that, Zach.
If there was any standards, we have thrown them out the window.
Yeah, they're gone.
This podcast is a sentient life form with its own will.
Yeah.
You cannot afford it. It is too late.
We can't do anything about it. Like it's the master of its own destiny. We are just but prisoners, but riders on this great Karen the Ferryman journey to the other side that is the Locacacast.
We are just bouncing on it.
We're simply
the
travelers.
Locacacast is the Tuvix of podcasts.
It's a fusion.
It is the Dracula flow of podcasts.
So, like, how was your month, though, Casey? What you been up to?
A relatively uneventful month. I got full-time at my new job, so that's cool. I get more money. I get benefits.
Sick.
Which is gonna be cool, because I'm gonna need, like, insurance and shit this year, so that's awesome. That worked out nicely.
Nice.
Yeah, nothing else really of note lately. I'm trying to think of if I've done anything interesting. No, I've just been chilling.
Okay,
getting money.
awesome. Epic.
I've just been getting my bag.
Hell yeah.
I've been chilling. I was chill.
I was chill.
Cut that bitch off.
I'm nice with it. I'm him. I've been him. I will continue to be him.
That's from a Caleb City sketch. Where,
Oh god, you're hitting me with all the references I don't know today.
Oh god, it's hang on. Let me actually go grab that.
I have like 100 million things to talk about my month, but I'm not even sure if it's worth doing on the podcast. It's all so unrelated.
How much did you do in a single month?
Oh, I did a lot, actually.
This one.
All right, let's just pull this up and watch this.
Roll the clip.
Roll the clip. Pull the lever. Hang on.
Roll the lever, Z.
Oh. So you're the legendary thief that everybody's tried so hard to catch. Who's asking? Okay.
Oh,
first
wait,
off,
hang on.
why
I was gonna screen share it to you. I forgot. Forgot to do that.
I thought we just.
No.
Well, I mean, why not? We're all
Okay,
watching
sure.
it together, basically. All right, can you guys hear it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
yes.
So you're the legendary thief that everybody's tried so hard to catch. Who's asking? Okay, first off, why do y'all do that? Who's asking? What do you expect me to say to that? You're just giving yourself away, and what do I say? What do I say after that? Stupid. Like, at least try to like act like you don't know English or something. Be more creative. Like, I'm sorry, I don't speak with. Like, never mind. I'm getting off topic. To answer your question, I'm the guy that's gonna catch you. Oh, really? With what evidence? Oh, there's plenty of evidence. Like, what's in the hoodie pocket? What? This bottle? Why would a simple water bottle incriminate? Shake it. You're smarter than you look. The line doesn't work here. But anyways, I have reason to believe that you tried to steal a key to a safe that held millions upon millions of dollars. However, I swapped that key with a banana before you got to it. Impressive. But I only expected that.
Really?
Yes, really. I expected you to swap that out with this banana. So, I managed to steal the key before I stole it and implant it into the banana that
Oh
you
my God.
would swap it with.
This
The
is
one that
actual
you have
JoJo
is a
shit.
fake replica key that I made. Funny you should
This
say
is
that.
literally how.
Because I knew you would make a fake key. So I stole the fake key that you made and swapped it with the real one. So that when you inevitably swap the real one with the fake one, you would actually put the real one back in its place. In other words, the one in that banana is the fake one. Very clever. But I thought ahead. I planted bombs around the city that I could detonate at any moment in several locations.
That's a garage
If
door opener.
you don't
okay.
give me the key, right?
I mean, you could have Walter Whited it. I don't
Now,
know.
what will it be? The key or destruction? It's a hard decision. It's a good thing I don't have to pick, because this is the battery to your detonator.
Oh fuck!
I'd be
No!
dangerous if I didn't already put the bombs on a backup timer.
Oh no!
I'd be pressed if we didn't already disarm them. I'd be upset if I didn't. You might want to answer that. Hello?
Yeah, I'm calling back this number because your dry cleaner is.
I knew you would disarm the bombs. That's why I placed extra bombs at your dry cleaner. You'll never enjoy unwrinkled clothes again. You'll have to iron them, like everyone else. That sucks.
You didn't have a wife or kids to
So
go
you
after?
relocated those bombs to your dry cleaners.
No!
I think you missed one detail. Not likely. You caught, bro. I'm not even here.
What?
What?
I was never there. You've been FaceTiming me this entire time.
No. What?
This entire time.
I'm actually in my house, chilling.
You thought you was in my head the whole time.
Kill it.
Nope. You weren't even talking to me. I've been chilling.
I've been
I was
chilling.
chill.
I was
Good
chill!
luck. Good luck trying to find me. Good luck.
Wait, what I need luck for? I don't need a thing.
What do you mean?
I'm in your house.
That's not true.
Open up, open up.
How did you find me? How did you find me? How?
Open up, open.
I was at my house chilling! I was chill!
I was chill. I'm
pretty good.
chill.
That's pretty good. I like that one.
I already stole the key before I stole it.
And then straight from that to, I'm in your house.
I'm in your house.
I'm in your house.
I'm in your walls.
I'm in your walls.
I am in your walls. Has anybody been watching Smiling Friends?
I've been watching Smiling Friends. It is so good.
Chris, I forget. Have you seen Smiling Friends?
No, I haven't seen it.
What?
Oh, man.
It's like the best show ever.
Alright, podcast aborted. We're just gonna go watch Smiling Friends.
We're just
now.
gonna
Fuck
watch
this.
the Smiling
What?
Friends.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Actually, if you did want to play an episode of the Smiling Friends, I have to run real
Yeah,
quick.
come
I'll be like,
on.
No, we're
I'll
not
be
gonna
like-
watch Smiling Friends on the
No,
podcast. They're like
I
10-minute
do
episodes.
I do have to. Well, that's what I'm about to say. Is I have to take a side mission that'll be roughly 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, we can like adjourn right here and just start back up. I'll just stop the recording so Chris doesn't have to cut much out.
And we're back for the first time.
And we're back. Okay, so we
We're
left
just
off.
we're just shooting some random shit about the Valve logo, but
Yeah. No, they've never found those guys. They're gone. They're lost to time. Kind of cool, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. So,
If you're the guy that is either of the Valve guys and
oh,
you're
like he
listening to the
listens to our fucking
Locacacast,
show. Nobody listens to this. One guy.
We listened
But
to it.
what if they did
What
that?
if that's the one guy?
It's Mac the Salami. It's Mac the Knife 24
Mac
on
the
Twitter or whatever his
Salami,
name
if
is.
you are the Valve guy.
So where we left off, we all had to go do a little side quest, and I was about to start talking about my month, but I think I'll just like skip that. I think I'll just abridge it. I went to Saguaro Man. It was a cool festival. It was amazing. I made some cool new friends out there. My new friend
Oh, yeah.
Robin, who I've been hanging out with. I went and saw the rest of my Saguaro Man buddies today.
Robin
We all
from
went and had
London?
breakfast together at Teddy's place. Anyway, it was a really good time, and I might have had more to say about it if I was closer to it, but now it was already like a month ago, and yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely a burner now. I definitely do this shit. I definitely go to burns.
I do this shit.
I really do this shit. I really
Shit
do.
ain't nothing to me, man.
Shit ain't nothing to me, man. But no, like, I already have another one scheduled. I'm going to Sin Flame at the end of this month, which is another little burn event. There's Burning Man. There's Big Burn. They call it the
Right.
Big Burn of the Big Man. So there's Big Burn, and then there's several little regional burns.
Baby
It's
burns.
kind of like Big Burn is like Evo in Smash terms, and then there's regionals and majors, and Evo is like a super major, you know? So that's Big Burn
Sure.
compared to the other burn events. So I went to Saguaro Man, and it was really cool. I fucking made friends, and I didn't shower for 5 days, but the dirt in the desert, the sand blowing into my hair kept it from getting oily. I danced, I ate mushrooms, I watched the temple burn to the ground. We all wrote messages on the temple. I met this girl, Krista, there. We were both kind of just like walking around the temple, reading everybody else's messages and crying. And we just hugged and cried for a while, and that was our introduction to one another. That was our friendship.
Awesome.
So, you know, like, you just have strange adventures and you meet weird people, and there's all sorts of weird shit going on. I ate a dick waffle straight out of a glory hole on the wall. It was pretty good.
Oh,
There's a waffle
That's-
shaped like a dick, and it has cream on it, and you have to eat it out of a hole in the wall. That's how they serve it to you.
that's pretty cool.
You know, just kind of like a wild time.
Yeah.
I was fucking around out there. I was wearing some cute outfits. I might be fucking around with my gender presentation a little bit. I might be figuring some things out about myself, actually. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned, Locacacast listener, for
Listeners.
my Twitter handle to change in the near future.
All 10s of our listeners.
All fucking tiny handful of them.
It is true.
Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like I had a little breakthrough out there. I feel like I found out some stuff about myself, and I feel like we're moving in a good direction. I feel like things are good, and I'm happy. Things are all right, you know?
Oh yeah.
I used to be in a place where the JoJo chapter coming out was like the only thing that brought my life meaning. Like, I was just working at Pizza Hut. Chris, you'll remember, you were doing the podcast with me in these days. I was working at Pizza Hut, and it was like, life is just like work and drinking and playing video games, and the only thing that breaks the monotony that I really have to look forward to is the release of a new chapter of JOJOLANds every month. And now, life is still working and drinking and playing video games, but I have so much other shit to do. I have, like, places to go, I have events to go to, I have people to hang out with, I'm constantly getting invited to shit. So, now, it's like the JoJo chapter isn't the only thing that brings my life joy anymore. So sometimes
Right.
I'll fucking forget to read it. Like, it comes out and I don't even notice for a couple days. It's so weird. It's so different compared to how I used to do stuff. But I'm happy. Things are going well, actually. I'm having a great time.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. It kind of implied that I didn't really do a lot in my month. It's just working and then not working and then filling the idle time. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
looking for trying to find more moments of meeting like that. So I'm glad that's come your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I'd like to like find more time to write, but you know, it's really like, you know, because gotta work to live, gotta live to eat, whatever.
Uh-huh.
gotta steal to eat, gotta eat to live. Tell you all about it when I got the time.
Right.
We
Yeah,
all
exactly.
have sorts.
But like, you know, you really gotta. Life is all about like managing your free time and moving that around where you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life is like a hurricane. Here in
Life
Duckburg.
is a highway.
Oh, I was going for DuckTales.
I know.
Oh.
I was just gentlemaning away from it. Or is it a gentleman if you hijack somebody's thing?
I don't know.
Anyways. So,
Life is like a highway here in Duckburg.
Duckburg. Alright, shut up. I had something else I wanted to say. Yeah, I went to a concert. I saw Super Duper Kyle and Jay Easy, the Mega Man guy. I got a picture with Mr. Mega Man.
With Mr. Mega Man?
I was never book smart. I'm money smart, you know, Mr. Mega Man. I got a picture with him. It was fucked up when I went up to go ask him for a picture. He, like, sort of was like, yeah, for sure, bro. And then, like, turned to look at his girl who was standing next to him. And was kind of like, you know, could ya? And she was like, oh, fine. And she, like, took a video of us taking the picture together. Like, that's awesome. That's for him. He's a small enough artist. He still wants to cherish every one of those moments.
That's nice. That's sweet.
Yeah. But I thought I recognized her. She's in some of his videos. Like, she's wearing a little, like, knit cap of Mega Man.
That's awesome.
Anyways, so yeah, Jay-Z, dude, Jay-Easy, he was up there, and he did a couple songs. He did Mega Man. He did Bridget. He did the Bridget song. He was asking everybody in the audience, yo, do y'all play Guilty Gear? Any of y'all, who do you play? The guy who raised his hand. And he's like, I played the guy with the big red sword. And weird, awkward silence. And he's like, Soul Bad Guy? And he's like, yeah, him. I'm like, okay, you don't actually play Guilty Gear. The next guy,
you don't know.
The next guy who gets called on, he shouts out, Nago. And he's like, oh, Nago is sick, bro. Nago is fucking crazy. And then he's like looking for a third person to end the audience participation segment on. And my hand is up. And he says, what about you? And I said, Bridget. And he was like, oh, shit, he already knows what's happening. Hit the track.
Let's go!
Perfect. I got called on and I got to say Bridget.
Bridget.
He had another moment where he asked the audience, if y'all know me, you might know the answer to this one. Is my money A, long, B, fat, C, gay? And we were all like, what the fuck does that mean? The guy answered long. No, that's incorrect. The guy answered fat. And the guy, no, that's incorrect. The third guy answers timidly, gay? And Jay-Eazy says, that's right! It's gay! And then the rap track cues in. First line, he says, I think my money's gay. It's too many men on top of one another.
Yo!
Shit went hard.
Yo! That's a good bar. That's a crazy
I think
bar.
my money's gay. It's too many men on top of one another.
Too many men on top of one another.
I think my money's gay.
I'm putting that in my wallet.
And so his money was gay.
We're back for the second time.
So that was basically my month. I got to go to Squirrel Man. I ate some mushrooms. I had a real trip. I had an experience. I've been working a lot. I made friends with this new guy, Mateo, at my work. He's like my new best work friend now.
Nice.
I'm actually going to Palo with my work friends after this is over, like later tonight. We're
gonna
go hang out there. These work friends have never been to Palo before, so it's going to be a fun crossover episode experience.
Shoutouts to Mateo.
Shout out Mateo. Mateo and I have been playing this Polytrack a lot. Polytrack is this in-browser low-poly racing game where every millisecond counts. We don't race against each other. We just set a best time and then race against that ghost.
Hold on a second. I need to adjust the.
Uh-oh.
He's adjusting. The Richard Runkus.
Things are being adjusted.
Richard Runkus and his tiny fungus.
Mateo, if you're listening to the podcast, shout out to you.
I think I have a little crush on him, actually.
Ooh.
I think I like him too much. I think I like him too much. You
Mateo, if you're listening to the podcast, Mateo, Z has something to say.
Don't listen to the podcast because I'm not gonna tell him that.
Listen to the podcast right
It always
now.
goes that way for me. Like, it's gone that way for me before, where it's like, I have this crush, but it's better for me logistically if I just never reveal it and just go on like nothing is happening and just let it die there in my heart.
I tried to do that with my previous relationship, but then the feeling kept coming back, and then it was reciprocated, and then it started, and then it was good, and then it fell apart, and then I was
I'm
like,
sorry,
oh
man. It'd be like
That
that.
is,
What were you
it's the
saying?
past.
Mercular?
Sorry, I was just gonna ask if there was extra noise coming in through my mic because I noticed my circle was stuck on green.
No,
No?
for a second there when you were moving stuff, some background noise was coming in. But also, is there anything going on with your mic? Like, is it extra muffled more than normal? Because sometimes your mic will sound extra muffled or compressed in such a way where it makes it sound like you have a lisp. I know you do
Yeah.
not. We've been talking for like 4 years. But like earlier when you were talking about season 3 and Sentinel, I was like, does Merc have a lisp all of a sudden? Did he bite his tongue? What's going on?
No, I think that's probably
I think that's probably
That's
an
probably
artifact of browser
connection
Discord.
weirdness.
Yeah.
Because it did not sound like
We're
that
on-
on the desktop.
Ron, did we talk about the difficulties of setting this up on the
Oh,
on the
no.
recording,
But,
actually?
I mean, it was a
No.
fucking bitch today, you guys. Longtime viewers, listeners will remember that we've sometimes had problems with Merc, quote-unquote, roboting out. His location is a little bit remote, so there's not much we can do about it, save from moving his ass to a bigger city with different internet. But, you know, it's his house, so what are we gonna fucking do? We've had these problems before, but today it was like almost insurmountable. His connection was so bad we were just gonna not record today.
To summarize everything that I had to do to get this working, like in a recognizable state where you can actually hear and understand the words coming out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you could
I
hear
had
us
to-
too. You weren't able to hear us either.
I had to plug in an Ethernet cable. Usually I'm just on the regular Wi-Fi. Normally that's just fine and serviceable for our show, but today it's just being very difficult. But I plugged in an Ethernet cable. I'm on browser Discord, which works better than the app for some reason. And we've set the region to not be automatic. The problem with the region being set to automatic, I think, is we have a 3-person call. So we're actually in different regions because Casey is in Florida
Hello.
and Zach and I we're in different states on the west side of the United States.
I'm in Arizona, but you knew that already.
So like yeah,
I'm
yeah,
in Florida.
it's kind of a hard pick when we have people on both sides of the country. It's like, what server does it want to connect us to?
Yeah.
But that's how I knew it must be something else, because you posted your speed test connection speeds, and I was like, no, that should be good enough for Discord. There has to be something else going on that's making it shitty. There's no way that you could have 29 up and 28 down and not be good enough for voice call.
and that's weird because like my internet is not slow. It's just not working for Discord right now.
I don't know. Maybe if there's like a better calling app, then we just use that instead. But Discord, I'm kind of like grandfathered into. Like I got into it January 2016, so I've got like 8 years on this platform now.
You got into it from your grandfather?
Yes. Next question.
He said, yes, you must use the Discord.
It's the only
I'm
way
Papa
to bring
CG.
peace to the all the
That's
Discord.
through the-
I know, ironic, I know.
family through generations.
Papa CG sat him down and introduced him to Discord.
He says, check this out. It's pretty lit.
You can play with all of your gamers worldwide. And I'm like, Grandpappy, I don't have gamers. I like to go outside and play football, please. And he says, nonsense!
None of that gay shit.
Faggot!
You'll play-
Cut that out,
you-
cut that out, cut that.
You'll play the video games and you'll like it.
Yeah.
Ah, we're all allowed to say that word.
I can reclaim it, I don't care.
At least, yeah, I was gonna say, at least 2 of the 3 of us I know for a fact can reclaim it.
We're all a little bit.
We're all a little fruity. We're all
We
loud.
We read JoJo. Come on now.
Come on. Come on. Hey,
That's
speaking
the
of
name of-
which, maybe
the
a
name of the
little,
game.
back to the chapter action?
Yeah,
A little
maybe if we got
beedly
into the
dee dee dee.
chapter, things
Can
would.
we really
things
go
would be
back though
powerful.
if we've never been there?
No, we haven't been there the whole time.
Okay, fine. Forward to the chapter. Do 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 do.
Doobidly dee booby beeb.
Do bit lady booty booby beeb. Yeah, yay, same.
Yeah.
The JoJOLands.
Chapter
Part
15.
9, Chapter 15. off for some life-threatening money making.
I love this title card of
It's fucking great.
The JoJo Bucks. My money gay.
My money is gay. There's too many men on top of one another.
There's too many men.
And I love that he's doing the Jotaro point. Like he's like, who's got $100? Who's got $100? You do.
I hope this gets like adapted into the future opening where we get the JoJo Bucks raining from the sky.
Well, it's too good not to. I mean, like you've seen in previous parts sometimes for the anime they will take something that was only a chapter cover, but is like iconic, and they'll insert it into the series.
Falling out of the sky, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yes. Like Mista's iconic pose where he's got the one hand sort of like lazily draped over his midsection and the other one he's pointing the revolver straight forward, straight at the viewer. That's actually a volume cover. That never happened. But they inserted it into the anime because it's an iconic pose and they wanted to have it. And I fuck with stuff like that. Because seeing that pose was a part of my experience reading the manga, so why shouldn't it be a part of their experience watching the anime?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
my experience reading Part 6 involved Jotaro with his hands in mismatched pockets, but they didn't even adapt that into the anime for some reason, which still bothers me. It was weird. It was stupid.
Oh, when he has one hand
in
his pants pocket,
yeah, and the other in the pants pocket. And the weirdest thing is, because that's during right before, or that's when he's introduced in Jolene's like visitation scene.
Yeah.
Right before the White Snake / Manhattan Transfer arc.
Yeah.
And in the anime, he's still introduced and he's shot from behind, standing on the opposite side of the visitor's table. You can see that his arms aren't aligned, so he's doing it. His hands
doing it.
He's still doing it, but they don't show the actual like panel from the front because the camera starts to pan up as it turns around, and we just see Jotaro's face. And I'm like, why? You cowards, you fools, David Production.
Damn.
How could you? Makes me sad.
Makes me sick.
Makes me suck. Chew.
But you. There was something I was going to talk about with Jotaro and the coat and anime. Fuck. Mismatched pockets. Oh yeah, so when I was watching Part 6 with my younger brother, my middle brother Graham, he was like incredibly unspoiled on everything in the story. I unfortunately went into Part 6 already knowing that like the universe resets. Fucking Jotaro dies right at the beginning, but then he doesn't actually die. He comes back only to die at the end. Everyone dies. Like, I knew all that shit going in. I was unfortunately spoiled on all of that. That everyone was going to die at the end. So, when Jotaro shows up and gets shot, I was like, okay, right, got it. I understand. This is the inciting incident. This is why this part is a big deal. Because the person who we would give it to if it became a big deal is now out of the fight. And it's all on you. That's what makes it cool. However, my brother did not have that reaction to that. He did not know what was going to happen. And so when Jotaro is like walking down the hallway and he can't stop all of the bullets and he gets like shot like 9 times and then he's going and like bleeding on the wall and sitting down and he's lost his disc and he's like, no, go ahead, Jolene. I'll be right there.
Yeah.
And then when he's got his eyes open underwater and Jolene's screaming, my brother is like, what? No. They can't just, what the fuck? Like, he's genuinely sad and heartbroken. He thinks this is it for Jotaro forever. And it kind of is.
It kind of is. It's the beginning of the end for Jotaro.
It kind of is. They build up the whole story like, Jotaro, if we can just get him back on his feet, then we've got this. And, like, his intervention barely helps at all and doesn't change the outcome.
Not even,
That shit's crazy.
Just barely.
Yeah.
I mean, it technically does save the day. Without Jotaro there, Jolene wouldn't have been able to allow Emporio to escape and save the day.
Correct.
Everything was still meticulously planned enough that every single character and every single event was important in the grand scheme.
Yeah. Even though Jotaro showed up just to job. fucker.
Just a job.
All right, let's get into this goddamn chapter of the goddamn JoJoLands. Awesome title
Have to
page
make
aside.
some big money.
Big money.
Big
Okay.
JoJo Rustler bucks.
Making too much money.
I make too much money.
I don't know who I am anymore. I'm getting too much money. Wait, I have a story about my month from it's Dracula Flow related.
I was about to say, does it involve Dracula Flow?
Yes, it does. I have a story from my month. So,
let's hear
I was
it.
hanging out with Robin, one of my friends I made from Saguaro Man, and we were going around and like thrifting, and I was putting together a cunty little outfit or two for Sin Flame. And we were like gonna meet up with my other friends, Liz and Rich, perhaps. I thought we were gonna hang out at their house. I text them. Liz and Rich say, "Nah, we're at Casey Moore's. We're gonna have a drink, and then we're going to Fogo de Chao, Brazilian steakhouse." I was like,
Ooh.
"Word? Okay. I mean, that sounds expensive and crazy, but I'll come to Casey Moore's and have a drink with you." And we're talking, and they're like, "Do you guys want to come with us?" And I'm like, "No, that's expensive. I don't want to fucking pay $70 for dinner tonight." And she was like, no, it's restaurant week. It's only like $38. And you can get all of the normal shit. And I was like, okay, all right. I never say no to an adventure, so let's go. Let's go to the fucking Brazilian steakhouse. And we're like smoking weed and stuff outside because it's legal in Arizona. It literally doesn't matter. We're just standing outside smoking weed, waiting for our table. Trying to generate some weed munchies in order to eat more once we're in there. Like we have a whole strat. And Robin, who brought the joint, it was her joint. She was like, I suddenly feel really lightheaded and like I'm going to pass out. And I was like, oh no, my dear sweet darling friend is in trouble. So I ran across the street to Walgreens and I bought us some waters. And then we're hanging out there and we're sipping the waters. And me and Robin are sitting back to back on the pavement such that if she were to pass out, she wouldn't be able to like fall back and hit herself in the head. We're sitting back to back. And it all of a sudden occurs to me, because we're like sitting around the side of the building, it's just like gravel. It just occurs to me all of a sudden that this situation that we are in is a Dracula Flow bar. Fire Zaza got me passing out in the gravel outside Fogo de Chao.
Out of the Fogo de Chao.
Can you come pick me up, Slime?
Slime. My
Fire
money
Zaza
long
got me
like...
passing out in the gravel outside Fogo de Chao. It's so
money
Dracula Flow
long
because
like
it's something
Jodio.
expensive and bougie and ridiculous alongside like something just trashy and gross and dumb.
Yeah.
That's why. Going to Fogo de Chao. Doing too much drugs and passing out in a gravel lot. Those
Dracula.
together. Dracula Flow.
Dracula Flow.
Dracula Flow. And speaking of which, there's sort of a Dracula situation going on here with Usagi, as whatever's happening with him is causing the life to flow out of his mouth.
Ugh. Yucky pooey. This is chapter
Gross.
15. Big Mouth Strikes Again.
Pardon me for dropping the honorifics, but Dragona, this Usagi guy, you've only known him for 3 days, and you only... So he's trying to convince Dragona immediately, like, this guy's not a friend, right? This is just like a teammate that we can go leave to die if it benefits us.
I am like... I love how quickly Charming Man is willing to turn on any single one of these characters the second they become a liability.
I hate that because it makes Paco look like a fucking idiot for being so willing to let him join. Like, you have invited the wild card into our ranks. You have invited chaos.
I guess,
The
but...
biggest, like, character development moment for Charming Man that I've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot that, like, that comes from this moment within this own chapter.
I just thought of something. What if later there's a moment in the story where Charming Man has turned on the party and it becomes clear that we must go our separate ways, and it's Paco who has to fight him. It's Charming Man versus Paco.
Round
And
2.
The fucking finish of the fight is that Paco has defeated him, but Paco is like standing there over him like very injured, like he barely made it. He's bleeding a lot, and he's like, I should have never let you into the crew. That was my mistake. I was wrong to do that, but I was wrong about something else too. Your knife skills, are actually pretty good.
Or pretty cool. That'd be good. I'd like that.
That'd be a good moment. Your knife skills are actually pretty good. Now that he's like got 90 successful cuts in all over his body.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Metal Gear Solid moment.
Yeah, it kind of does. Your knife skills are actually pretty good.
He does the little finger guns.
He goes, pew.
You're pretty good. Bless you.
Just saying, we have the chance of abandoning Usagi if it comes to the point where he's a burden. He's got pulmonary edema, there's fluid building up in his lungs, drug intoxication, this guy's a junkie, we can't call an ambulance. There is no enemy, he's just a drug addict, fuck him. There's nobody who knows about us looking at the deed. He's not breathing.
I need a moment after this arc, after this fight has concluded, where Usagi is like, guys, if I say that there is a stand attack, there is a stand attack.
I'm not fucking with you.
Stop coming up with every other excuse under the sun. It is a stand. We are stand users.
It's not a security system. I'm not on drugs. It's a fucking stand attack. Stop ignoring my advice.
I like how he's ignoring the fact that Usagi is rocking up to just say that, like, oh, he's foaming at the mouth. This has to be a drug overdose.
It's just a drug overdose. A drug-induced pulmonary edema.
It's like that clip from Breaking Bad where Walter's like, now that we're in charge, nobody gets hurt. And Jesse says, you keep saying that, and it's bullshit every time!
Yeah.
Usagi to whoever's saying it's not a stand.
It's the end of, have you guys seen The Nice Guys with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, it's such a good movie. At the end of it, they're like recounting their adventure or whatever. And Ryan Gosling goes, yeah, and nobody got hurt. And Russell Crowe goes, a couple of people got hurt. Well, I imagine that they died quickly, so they probably didn't feel much pain.
Yeah. I think you've brought that up on the podcast before.
Okay, it's a good line. I think about it often.
I'll have to watch that movie. I'll get back to
this.
you. We'll be able to trade references with each other.
Oh, it's so fun. You should watch it right now.
Okay, so Usagi, despite having established that he's not breathing, starts talking, and he asks Pink-chan, or whatever her name is, to make a straw with the Mate Kudasai.
Which is now, like, I don't know if this is just perspective, that he's very close to the screen, or the Mate Kudasai has once again increased in size to the size of, like, Dragona's torso.
Oh my god, yes, please. But then it immediately shrinks into the size and shape of a straw.
Well, yeah, he
well, so I'm saying the Mate Kudasai, that's one of its canonical abilities. It can change its size freely.
Exactly, whatever it needs to be. And it's the straw, like, comes out of his eyeball.
That reminds me of a Triple Q tweet from a million years ago. Remember when people were talking about like Ridley for Smash, and Sakurai said he's too big, and everyone was like mad about that?
Yeah.
Triple Q made a tweet once. He was like, who's bigger? Bane, because he's a big guy for you. Gamaguri from Kill la Kill, whose size changes consistently depending on if it's going to be funny in the scene.
If it's going to be funny, exactly.
To be enormous or normal or kaiju sized. So Bane, who's a big guy for you. Gamaguri, who is always as big as he needs to be. Or Ridley, who's too big. Who's bigger?
Me.
Isn't Gamaguri's official size listed as bigger than you?
That's awesome if true.
If that's real.
Huge if true.
Huge even if not
Literally.
true.
Literally.
Ira Gamaguri. Race, gender, age, hair, eyes, status. It doesn't say.
Age 20. I did not know.
Gamaguri's physical size tends to vary wildly from scene to scene, from merely exceptionally tall to the size of a building. The only seemingly constant thing about it is that he is always larger than any other character present. While likely for comedic value, this could be
he is always larger than any other character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh man, all of Gamaguri's Goku uniforms share a resemblance to characters from Marvel. Shackle and Scourge Regalia resembles Iron Man. Shackle Regalia Mark II resembles Juggernaut. Shackle Regalia Persona Unleashed resembles Apocalypse. That's crazy.
That's really fun.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah, I never caught that.
Oh, someone said in the comments, Mark II is substantially closer to Marvel's Nimrod than it is to Juggernaut. They have a Nimrod? Okay.
I guess so.
That's a new
Nimrod is the
Biblical hunter.
well, yeah, but in the context of X-Men, he's one of the future Sentinel, and his deal is he's just unbeatable. So
That's a good gimmick to have. That's strong.
yeah, no,
literally just unbeatable.
The only thing I've seen with Nimrod is like the animated series episode where he shows up, and it was like part of the Days of Future Past two-parter, where Nimrod follows Bishop back through the time portal, and when they take him down and he starts reassembling, and like the only way they can stop him is to like destroy the thing that's anchoring him to the present, so that he goes back to his own time period.
I see.
Hmm.
And I imagine, like, given enough time, he would have just gotten back up in the future and gone back through the time portal to the past again.
Because he's just unbeatable.
You know, avert the bad future before he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Nimrod is definitely one of my favorite N-words. It's in my top 5 favorite N-words for sure.
I'm curious to know what the other 4 are, but maybe we shouldn't get into that on the podcast.
They are in no particular order.
No.
Nickelodeon, Nintendo,
Is one of them Ninja?
Ninja Turtle, or I'll just accept Ninja, and Nincompoop. With Nimrod, that makes my top 5 favorite N-words.
Ninja's got versatility, because you can go Ninja Turtle or you could go Cyborg Ninja.
Or you can go that guy that plays Fortnite.
Ew!
Yucky pooey.
That's why I say Ninja Turtle, because it's immediately signaling where I'm trying to go with it, even though Ninja is the only N-word in there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those are my favorite N-words. I asked my friend what his favorite N-words were the other day, and he fucking said Nebuchadnezzar.
Uh-huh.
Nebuchadnezzar.
That's an N-word that I'm not familiar with.
It's the name of the ship from the Matrix, dude. It's like
but before that, it was also like a Babylonian king, right?
Oh yeah, Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar. Here he is. There's a picture of him right now. I'm putting it up on the screen. Nebuchadnezzar.
He was the second king of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, ruling from the death of his father, Nabopolassar.
Nabopolassar?
That's his name.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Anyway,
now, I was... What?
Sorry, I was just going to say my friend said that was his favorite N-word, and I was like, that's fucking heat, honestly.
It is a good one.
I've scarcely ever heard a better N-word than that.
It's a strong option.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
It's a powerful N-word.
It's probably worth a lot of points in Scrabble.
Oh, boy.
Nebuchadnezzar? Oh, for sure. It's got 2 Z's in it.
But only 1 N.
And it's in the right spot. To be
It's got 2 N's, Casey.
That's actually not. That's actually not true at all. That's actually wrong.
I just took it at face value. I just accepted it.
I said it at face value. I said it at face value. I like that there was a pause between me saying it, realizing it was wrong, and then Burke also pointing out that it was wrong. So there's 2 N's, Casey. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I guess you're right. If only I wish I knew that when I said it. or before I
Don't
said
worry.
it.
I mean, I don't know. Abort bit.
Abort. But enough about the N-word. We gotta. I mean, we gotta get back to
Oh
the
god
chapter.
damn it! What do you mean the? There's plenty of great N words.
I,
say
no,
that.
no,
This.
I had a joke, but it's gonna be stupid. So,
But it's gone
Say
now.
No.
You edit the show. You can cut it if it doesn't work.
Well, it's reminding me of the
It's.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Roboticization occurred. Try that again.
I said it's too stupid.
Okay, all right.
Even-
I'll let you off the hook. I like to
the,
double insist, and if the person says okay, fine, after my second insistence, then we're cool. But if they say no, for real, it's not important, then I go, oh, okay. Because then if I triple insist, then I'm the asshole.
Yeah.
All right, so
It's giving the Sam Jackson interview where they're talking about Django Unchained. And the interview's a white guy, and he goes, "So what do you think about the usage of, like, you know, the N-word in Tarantino movies?" And Sam Jackson goes, "What N-word?"
yeah, which
there's
one?
There's a lot of words that start with N. You'll have to be more specific. He goes, "Well, I can't say it." And he goes, "Well, this interview cannot continue unless you say the N-word.
Yeah,
unless
he does.
unless you tell me which word you are referring to. I will not answer that question."
And he's like, the interview guy's like, I'm definitely not going to do that. Like, do you understand? Like, my life and career are dependent on me not doing that right now. And Sam Jackson's like,
okay.
no, it's okay. I'm giving you permission. Say it. I'm making this the most comfortable moment for you possible. And he's like, I'm just not gonna do that, Sam.
Here's a good hypothetical.
It's very uncomfortable.
If you were in that situation,
Oh,
and
I'm
you're
saying
doing
it.
Sam Jack, you're saying it. Okay, good.
But also, the thing is, I would never be in that situation because I would never be asking Sam Jackson how he feels about Quentin Tarantino writing the N-word that he's thinking of, the interviewer, in the dialogue, because I don't feel the need to be like a soundbite pusher and to get something out of Sam Jackson that's going to look good in a headline. Like, I just wouldn't be in that position. Morally,
Sure.
like, why would I ever be doing that, you know? But
Yeah.
if I'm in that position, if I'm like in that room and Sam Jackson is like, say the N-word right now or else this interview cannot continue and you do not have my respect, I'd be like, okay, Sam Jackson, you asked for it, man.
Now here's the thing. You've committed to saying it. Do you say it with your whole chest, or do you just kind of like squeak out a little timid, like?
Well,
What do you do? Do you impress?
My
Do you
question
double
is
down?
hard R or soft R?
Well, yeah, you don't go. Well,
Well, the
See,
thing is,
Samuel Jackson.
are we really
is
talking
the kind-
about this?
Well, Samuel Jackson is the kind of guy that if he's giving you, he doesn't. I don't think he really cares.
I don't think
But,
that there's any difference for him saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's gonna say it
exactly.
the same way
Like-
every time.
Yeah. Sometimes you.
Well, I mean, actually, I just realized my question has relevance because there were both hard R.
Uh-oh.
Man.
Have very different.
Oh gosh. The robot is taking over.
No, but I
Doesn't
actually
like it.
completely understood what he said. There's hard and soft in Django, and they have different connotations, and the movie plays with that.
Oh,
Okay,
I
thank
see.
you, Jack. Thank you.
I totally got it. Casey, stand aside. I speak robot Chris. I've been
goodness.
deciphering his roboticized messages for a lot longer than you have. I got this.
That's true. I panicked. I had no idea.
Anyways, yeah, you have a point there. But I think that regardless of the R situation, I'm saying it in a complete sentence. I'm not just like it's a beat of silence and then just like, bop, and then you just say it single word, not in a sentence. I would put it in a complete sentence, in context, and then I think by the time I got to it, it would be apparent how it was meant to roll off the tongue. You know what I
It
mean?
would sound so normal that nobody would think twice about it.
Right. I would say it in a complete sentence in context and re-ask the question. But, you know, it wouldn't be the kind of thing where you're just like, that word shouldn't go up on stage alone. It should be part of a cast. It should be in context. It should be like all of its friends should go up there on stage with it to support it.
Have you seen the Donald Glover bit where he's doing stand-up?
Yes.
And he's talking about the
The
N-word?
Kanye concert.
Yeah, well, he's like, there's only one guy, only one non-black dude who can say it, and that man is Charlie Sheen.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about the Kanye concert story that he
Yeah.
tells, where the Jesus
It's a
walks
Kanye-
at the beginning, and everyone in the crowd says it, and then they all kind of look at him like, "What are you gonna do about it?"
It's a Kanye concert. We outnumber you.
Yeah, and he's like, and it's not like I was in Detroit or something. I was in Texas. This is where they make white people.
Where they make white people.
I think
But
about
yeah,
that.
sometimes
I am from
sometimes
Texas.
I just that's where they made you.
Yeah,
That is
literally.
where you were. That is where you were made.
I came from the fucking Texas white people factory.
Technically, I was made in some part of Mexico when my parents were on a honeymoon.
That's nice.
That's-
You know what my favorite M word is?
What?
Mate kudasai. And we're
I
back
thought-
on track.
I'm about to say moving on.
Moving on. Mate kudasai. Back to the chapter. Usagi is stabbing himself to make room for the fucking to make room for the straw.
Straw
chest.
inside of his
And correct me if I'm wrong, but hasn't somebody done this in JoJo before?
I want to say that they have. I also can't think of it off the top of my head, though. I mean, Jotaro's given himself the heart massage, but I don't think that was this.
But this has happened in JoJo before. Somebody stabbed themselves and done the straw trick.
Yeah.
It's a very common like survival technique that's in a lot of media. So-
Yeah, because it looks cool. But like, hasn't this
I
happened
don't
in
know
JoJo
about-
before?
I don't know about JoJo specifically. It would have to be a very specific moment of a very specific fight.
Yeah,
I feel
I'm
like
not
it is,
sure.
though. I'm looking at
It
the.
very well could be. I mean, JoJo is all about very specific moments in fights. But I can't think of one specifically other than this.
Usagi gave himself a DIY tracheectomy while choking.
I remember when they pissed in Cameo's scuba gear.
Yeah. That was cool.
His breathing tube.
And he went...
He pissed in his scuba gear?
Yeah,
His
that's how they
breathing
defeated him at the end of the fight, remember? They found the little breathing straw.
Who are we talking about? What part is this even?
Cameo.
Part 3.
It's in part 3.
Cameo?
Avdol and...
He's,
Judgment.
yes,
Not
no.
Judgment,
it is Judge.
It is Judgment, yeah. Justice was Enya's stand. Judgment
Yeah.
was held to you.
Okay.
The one that grants wishes.
The genie thing.
Yeah. See,
And-
no, I know Judgment, but I did not remember that his name was fucking Cameo. His appearance
Yeah.
in the fucking manga was so short it might as well have been a cameo.
Ooh.
Wait, do you have the sound
like-
effect?
Oh, it's like how the sun guy, like, did you know his
Uh-oh.
he has,
I
oh,
did.
shit.
I do know the Sun user's name. His name is Arabia Fats.
Arabia Fats.
There you go, yeah.
I got that. I got the Sun user, and then robot. I was like, luckily, I know the answer to this trivia. What is the most obscure JoJo character name that you've remembered?
Josuke, but he's the dog.
That's a good one.
Josuke, but the dog. Well, I mean,
Josuke, but-
between Chris and I'm pretty good at remembering like the characters' Japanese names and shit.
Hmm.
Like, can you tell me the name without looking it up of the guy who had Red Hot Chili Peppers from Part 4?
Oh, it's Akira. I can't remember his last name though.
Akira Otoishi.
Otoishi.
Yeah.
I knew it was an Ishii thing.
I had a moment like that a while ago, and I don't even know like how I pulled it out of my memory so effortlessly because I was trying to remember the names of some of the characters' horses in Steel Ball Run.
Um,
And I don't even think he says the name of the horse in the context of the part.
Slow Dancer.
Valkyrie is Gyro's horse.
Valkyrie. Silver Bullet was Dio's.
Silver Bullet is Dio's. That's the one that I dug from my memory, and I was like, how did I even remember that? Like, Silver Bullet, the name of Dio's horse.
It's important to us now, because as we all know, Diego is the great-great-great-grandson of Silver Bullet. It was his great-great-great-grandmother. He fucked the horse. Dio fucked the horse. Diego, excuse me.
The horse. Diego.
He fucked the horse, ladies and gentlemen.
Got down and dirty with the horse.
Yeah, so I can't find anybody else saying that this did happen anywhere else in JoJo.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just hallucinating it. But
I did a quick cursory
it's
search.
been in other stuff that I'm thinking of.
Oh,
it's
of
been in other
course.
stuff. But the thing that struck me about this, which is definitely something that actually did happen in JoJo, was that like part 8 near the end, a straw goes into somebody's chest and spurts out a ton of fluid, and it kills them.
Does.
Part
and
9, near the beginning, a straw goes into somebody's chest and spurts out a bunch of fluid, and it saves them from being killed.
To be fair, it's not really a straw. It was like the top of a tube, pointy thing.
It was a can of compressed air, was it not?
Pen.
Yeah, it was. It was a pen. What? Was it a pen? I thought it was the aerosol can.
Yeah, it was the straw from the... Hang the fuck on. I've got all of the JoJo in the world right here. Let's just go check. Part 8, JoJorian.
Was it not an aerosol can? Because I know it didn't pierce, like, all the way into the lung, is what I'm saying. It wasn't for the purpose of allowing him to breathe. It was for the purpose of allowing him to die.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, here it is. Jobin dying. He punched the aerosol can, and it exploded. Okay, so I'm looking at the page here now. Speed King is being advised not to launch an attack on the head doctor, but he's going to do it anyway. He looks under the blankets. There's the aerosol can that he punched, and it's starting to... It's having a little bit spurt out of it. And then it explodes, and he blocks most of it with the pillow. But then it flies around the room. It doesn't appear to have a straw on it. It's like hairspray. Like, it's not like compressed air. Like it has a tube on the end. It's just like loose. Like it's very clearly depicted.
Yeah,
without a tube.
all I remember is that there's just a very tiny like part of it that flies off. It goes into his lung and goes into his chest.
What an unclimactic,
That's...
anticlimactic exit.
Yeah,
Fucking
no,
horrible.
it's always bothered me. And it gets confirmed off screen that she just walked by his dead body in the hallway. It's like, oh, cool.
And it's made
Great.
even worse by the fact that Norisuke survives.
It's made even worse by the fact that Jobin has a stand that could have cauterized that wound in 2 seconds.
I remember predicting cauterizing the wound and thinking to myself, I'm such a genius, and then it never happened.
He wouldn't have even had to think about it. That should have just been something he did instinctively. Oh god, I hate the...
Should have been the automatic response, yeah.
I should have used my heat stand to heat the wound, like, what...
Okay,
the fact we did... You know... I can accept Jobin dying if we get some sort of monologue where he's like, "Oh, if only I could use Speed King on myself."
There's a metal tube lodged in a major artery. Should I A, leave it alone? B, melt that motherfucker?
Or should I B, do literally anything else other than give up and die immediately?
Well, there is a thing that's you guys are forgetting about. He discovers, by the way, it is a little metal tube, but it wasn't on the outside of the can of hairspray. I guess it was like a metal tube on the inside that makes it so that you can like have it under pressure but also still get the stuff at the bottom. I guess it was an internal piece. But he finds it and then he becomes a blood fountain and then he tries to go do something to get out of there to do something about it, and he fucking gets... He slips on the puddle of blood that he's just made, and the thing lands right on his chest, pushing it in deeper.
Oh, fair enough.
But then he's alive still, and he says, Mitsuba, Tsurugi, gabla. He like does
And
a
those
little
are his...
gabla, like throwing up blood animation.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just have Speed King pinch it, melt it, break it off, and then it wouldn't have.
Well, because then JoJolian would be good. Duh. And we just
Yeah,
can't have
well.
that.
Why didn't he use Speed King's secret ability to speed up the molecules of the world around him that would allow him to travel faster through time? Yeah. So he dies faster.
Maybe he did. Maybe that's why he died.
Yeah, maybe he tried too hard. He overcompensated. He's like, don't worry, guys, I got this.
JoJolian some more now. Anyway, so yeah, the straw going in the chest thing is interesting. Yeah. All right. Next page. The fluid is ejaculating out of the straw. He just jabbed into himself.
When you parallel the two moments like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have one where it's a person gets stabbed by a tube and they die, versus a person gets stabbed by a tube and they live. It almost feels like Araki is apologizing for how lame Joe's death was.
Maybe.
When
In
you
his
were
own
saying,
weird cosmic way.
when you were saying tube and die versus get hit by a tube and live, I was like, Tubin. That should be his name. His name should be Tubin from now on.
His name should be Tubin.
Because he got tubed. Jobin's in the garage? What's he doing? He's tubing.
He's just Tubin.
All
in
right.
the garage?
So, yeah, it was in the garage.
No, I'm saying this is the reaction of the family. In the garage?
That's what I'm doing. It's a post. It's a meme. It's like, got my dick sucked at a Denny's. And it says, at a Denny's? And he says, yeah, it was at a Denny's.
No, well, I was gonna punctuate it with no honor.
No honor. No dignity.
Jobin is Tubin in the garage?
No dignity.
No dignity.
Alright, so they help him into the fucking van, and then once he's in the van, Jodio's like, what happened?
I don't know.
Paco doesn't give a shit. He just immediately is like, you guys managed to get the document, right?
You guys completed the mission before all this, right? Before this crap happened.
It's a pulmonary edema.
You guys did the mission. What the fuck is Usagi's problem, right?
What is this then?
So then now we finally go inside Usagi, and we see that there is a little stand attacking him and ripping up his blood vessels and shit.
I love this little stand's design. Also, very fun that we finally get to see what Usagi's insignia looks like up close on the side of the straw. It's not just like a weird little V thing. It's two little legs.
You've never noticed that before?
I never noticed that before. No, I thought it was just a stylish V.
The legs used to have fishnets on them. In the first chapter?
What?
Yeah, go back and look at the first chapter. They used to have fishnets on them, the legs.
I never noticed that. I thought it was just a V.
No, they used to be wearing fucking thigh-high garters, actually.
That's awesome.
In chapter
That's so
1,
cool.
in the panel where he said Paco is telling him inside the rain gutter, you can see them. And then I think at the end of the chapter as well, when he comes back in. No, they're not really illustrated then. Alright, chapter 2. Let's see it.
This tiny stand inside of Usagi reminds me of The Lovers, actually.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, this fight is very The Lovers coded.
Okay, it was just in the first chapter. It's just the first time it was drawn.
It feels like we're getting a lot of callbacks lately.
Mm-hmm.
Whether intentional or not.
Yeah, I think it is intentional, though. I think Araki knows exactly what he's doing, and he's sort of like playing the hits. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, wasn't that a fun idea? Don't you want to go back and do that again, but with our current style?
Well, I was gonna say I don't
But also,
mind it
like,
because
this all could have been the fault of Araki looking at, like, a medical book with drawings of the inside of the human lungs and alveoli and shit, and he's like, ooh, that looks fun, I want to draw that.
this could be the result of him listening to our podcast and being like, "What if I did a fantastic journey inside
Yes,
of Usagi?"
God, we need to bring that up. We predicted that there would be a fantastic voyage. Last episode, the Coolio displacement field.
The Coolio displacement field was proven true.
It was
by
all,
this
it was the
tiny
whole
little
thing. I
stand.
didn't even remember that, but you guys were like, it fucking happened. Somebody shrunk down and went inside somebody else. There is a fantastic voyage in this chapter.
We are voyaging fantastically. It's cool.
It's pretty fantastic.
That episode was uploaded on Monday, the 29th of April. In what? Less than a month, Araki listened to our podcast and decided this is what it is.
Yeah. He was gonna make it a completely different stand, and then he's like, "Wait a minute, these guys are cooking. They know my series better than I do."
It reminds me of One Punch Man, the manga, where the manga artist up live updates the chapters as they're coming out.
Yeah.
So sometimes they'll have like entire continuities retconned out.
Yeah, I remember reading through it as I was trying to catch up, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Except this time he did it live.
Yeah, it's the live version of that.
Preemptively.
Imagine reading a manga and you gotta get the patch notes. Like, oh, I didn't play the patch version. Okay, sure.
Yeah, that's why I fell off of One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Welcome back for the third time to the Locacacast podcast.
You always do that. You keep track of how many times we stopped and started, and I don't know how I feel about it at all.
It's funny.
Makes
Makes me laugh.
It makes me go ha ha hee hee ho ho.
Make me giggle.
Okay, all right. So we're in the van. Usagi has stabbed the thing, and we get to our viewers' camera gets to go down inside of Usagi and see inside the body, inside the stand. So I guess that's how he then on the next page immediately knows that there's a stand in him, because his straw is now like next to it, close enough that it can feel it. You know, you can see it.
I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but if you remember, the straw was formed from the eye of the Mate Kudasai.
Right, but then I have a couple questions.
No idea.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
If that's true, and it formed for the eye of the Mate Kudasai, and you can see it there.
Yeah.
Then why the fuck do we need Charming Man to go in there at all?
Because it's just a straw. You can't do anything with it. Charming Man goes in there to try and get the stand out.
Right. But if the Mate Kudasai can be morphed into anything, and we see here that the straw is in there, and then if we go forward a couple pages, well, you know, maybe let's just work our way through this one by one. I'll bring this up in a minute.
What if someone started sucking on the straw to pull the stand out?
And it just starts ripping the alveoli off the walls of his fucking lungs. Like boba tea, they just start coming up the straw.
Yeah, Usagi starts dying faster, and he's like, "What are you doing? Stop."
He starts dying faster. Oh, man. Okay.
So I gotta say, I know it's not gonna happen because of the nature of this guy's ability, but I love this stand design so much. I kind of wish this guy would join the crew.
Oh my god, stop! I don't want any more people to join the fucking crew.
But I love this stand. I love that he has 3 legs on each knee.
You're like a kid in a grocery store. Like, you can't have all of them. You gotta put some of them back.
No, but imagine how raw it would be if they pulled up to the final fight and they're like, we have you now, evil villain.
What if they made good on the promise that Part 4 made, that we just have this army of stand users rolling up?
Well, what
But
I'm
then
saying
in
is,
that case, like, I struggle to imagine a threat that it would take 19 stand users together to beat.
no. I'm just saying, imagine like they have this guy on the party, and they get all the way to the end game. They go to the final boss, and they're like, "Aha, we've already defeated you." And he's like, "What do you mean? You haven't touched me yet?" And he's like, "No, but we gave you cancer." And he's like, "What?"
We gave you AIDS last week. Go
What
get
do you
tested, see
mean?
if we're lying.
He's like, "No,
Oh,
this
but
can't be."
Actually, no. Consider this because we've already seen this happen before with
Uh-oh.
definitely changed how the stand works.
Well, yeah, exactly. They can recruit this guy, and he'll have a completely different ability the next time he needs to use his stand.
Let's not encourage that behavior from Araki. Let's not
What
encourage that.
what I'm saying is, this guy could also just be like the Fugo, the purple haze of the group, where it's a indiscriminate disease-based ability, and it's like, hey, you just chill out until we need you to give like a bunch of people cancer.
We'll call you. Don't call us. We'll call you.
Don't call up. Please don't call us.
Well,
for the love
Casey,
of
I
God.
think that would be a lot of fun for you as a gamer to have like power gamed all the way to the point where you're at the final boss and you can just kill him with some bullshit. But I don't think that makes for a satisfying story.
Wouldn't that make him Highway Star?
I guess so, yeah. Because Fugo gets sidelined and he never comes back. But I just mean the nature of his ability being indiscriminate disease. Just and having that be so strong, it's like, well, we can't use this guy all the time because he's going to kill us.
We have met too many stand users, and we've added 2 of them to our crew already. It was just Dragona and Jodio.
And Paco.
First. Well, no, just Dragona and Jodio in Chapter 1. Then we meet Paco, and we understand that the 3 of them are part of a gang. Okay, this is already 3 stand users introduced to me in 1 chapter. Okay, cool. And then there's a 4th one who's explicitly not been part of the gang up to this point, but is now part of the gang.
He's awesome.
Then there's a 5th one. So I'm just saying, like, don't want another one right now. Like,
yeah, but he's awesome.
Yeah, but he's awesome. Okay, fine, but like, I literally want the crew to defeat this little stand.
Too many members.
I'm getting too much money.
I'm getting too much. They want money. They want too much money.
I'm getting too many members. I don't even know who this crew is anymore. But so, like, literally what I want to happen is that we don't even meet this fucking user. They just, like, defeat the stand, and then we cut to the outside of the van, and some random guy who was sitting on a bus bench 20 feet away, his head just fucking explodes.
No.
No,
Why not? It worked for fucking
It's
Midler.
an automatic long-range stand. That's never how that works.
Never
his head
how
won't
it works.
explode if you kill his stand?
That's never been how it works for long-range automatic stands. Think about Black Sabbath and Pulpo.
Okay,
yeah,
well, think about fucking...
fine. Pulpo didn't even know his stand was in a fight.
Think about Harvest and Sheer Heart Attack. Both of those reflect damage to their user when they're injured.
Yeah, but he changed the rules.
When fucking the entire Harvest colony was annihilated.
Yeah. He had to kill enough of the Harvest to even start hurting Shigechi.
Yeah, because there's a million of them. Sheer Heart Attack, he wasn't able to destroy it, but he punched it super hard, and Kira's hand bled.
Yeah, but that's because he's gonna change the rules and play fast and loose with them. We can discuss this all day.
Okay, but if we're gonna accept that the rules mean nothing, they never mean anything anytime we're told them, then what are we even doing?
That's the context of, like, what is Araki doing with this part? Which is like, okay, if the pattern holds so far, we've seen that, okay, part 7 is your part 1 and 2 replacement. Part 8 is your, like, part 3 and part 4, which means this is your part 5 and part 6, which means, logically, this is the Black Sabbath fight.
Yeah, I guess so, man.
This also, technically, we know that this stand is in multiple places by the end of the chapter. Therefore,
just attack the woman as well.
Exactly. So she's very far distanced from the group, so therefore defeating one of the little guys is not going to cut it.
Wait, what? The
It'll
attacker
maybe
is a
slow.
woman? When was
It'll
that?
maybe
The woman at the records office.
yeah. She's under the effects of the stand too, and she's getting taken away by the ambulance.
And
Well,
we see
she's
at the
not
end of
the
this
attacker.
chapter.
No,
we see at the end of
but
this
she's-
chapter that the stand is also contagious.
Yeah,
It's
the stand is
funny.
contagious.
The other people, which only works if there's more than one body.
Which means, yeah, the stand would have to be in their bodies, messing them up.
Okay,
So
let's get through this a little bit. Let's get through some of these pages. So the straw inside, we get our first glimpse of the stand. Boom, cool shot of the stand. Ah, there's a stand inside my body. It might have stuck in at some point. Start
Those
the
little
car. Get away
feetsies.
from here. There must be a user. We gotta get outside the range. Pulmonary edema is in the name of some illness. My heart is damaged from a disease. Can't pump blood. The fluid leaks from alveoli. My heart is being attacked. An enemy standing somewhere inside me doing a tiny attack. I saw it. So he did see it. So he can fucking see.
He can see it, yeah. He's doing a tiny attack.
If we don't
Also,
do
these are
something, attack. There's an
getting
enemy here.
really
Get the
good
car moving.
panels.
Hurry.
Yeah.
He's got some kind of drug intoxicant. Charming Man's being such a fucking asshole.
I love Charming Man. He's awesome.
He's like my least favorite. I don't even want him on the team.
He's so cool, though.
He's fucking whatever, man. This shit ain't happening because of drugs. There's an enemy and they're here. Pink-chan, don't leave me, please. This is sad because you know Dragona does not care about Usagi the way Usagi cares about Dragona.
Yeah.
Dragona's like looking at this from a purely like, oh no, our ally is wounded. Usagi feels like deep emotions about it. Don't leave me.
Dear heavens.
Yeah, so Charming Man is like just assuming he's the fucking boss of the group. He's like, no, I know what's going on. Shut him up, will ya? And then Jodio is like, wait, we should think about this.
I love that even Jodio's like, just hypothetically, if there was a stand user, and Usagi's like, why are you not believing me? Every time I tell you it's a stand, and every time I'm right.
Usagi's got to have a real serious conversation with the rest of the team after this. Like, you
That's what
guys
I'm
have to start
That's
listening
what
to
I'm
me.
saying. Like, why would he not... Why would this be the time he starts to lie?
Well, I mean, when there's so much money at stake, any time is the best time to start lying.
When you're getting
Imagine-
too much money.
Imagine next time Usagi says that it is a stand and it turns out to not be a stand.
Like,
Do
either
you
that's
think
what
Araki would
Araki's
really
trying to-
ever do that? He would write
That's
a
what I
chapter where it
mean.
seems like there's a stand, but there's literally nothing. He's never done
Like-
that before. That'd be funny.
I'm saying, like, either he's setting that up, or just the running bit is going to be Usagi is the guy who calls out the very blatant stand attack.
But I don't like that. I don't like character who is like obviously right, has always been right, and the other characters in the group aren't smart enough to catch on to the fact that no, wait, this guy is always right about when it's a stand attack.
Well, yeah, but it keeps happening.
I don't like it either, but it's what's happening. Alright, we also met with the young woman who worked there, but I didn't get any sense she was enemy. She turned the pages of the deed with gloves as part of her job. We didn't touch them. Dragona,
What a
did you call an
controversial
ambulance? No, I didn't
chapter.
call anything. It passed us. Lady... isn't that the lady? She's not breathing. We need tracheal intubation. The woman from the registry office. Oh god, no. The same symptoms. Oh fuck. She's bleeding from her fucking eyes. Like, not even the corners. Just straight out the middle of the eyeball.
Just out of the eyeball. And she's got the weird rock stuff.
There's blood spurting from her eyes. Paco, it looks
That's-
like there really is an enemy. That's certain now. We should get the car
I still don't
moving.
understand what the rock symptom is.
Gotta get the lava rocked in the context of the original deed. Automatic pursuit type of stand. Then it is possible they could have set up a trap and attacks it like a disease. Operate remotely. Then the user just comes to check if the target died or not. Usagi, face this way. I'm showing you respect. You stabilized your breathing by stabbing your own lung with that straw. Man, for a piece of shit, this guy's got guts. Don't move.
See,
Look at me.
Charming Man, he's nice.
And then he's going in there. His eyeball is coming out of his head.
He's helpful.
See what I mean about that being fast character development?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also it doesn't really make any sense because it didn't happen after he stabbed the straw. The straw's been
Like,
in there
oh
the whole time
god,
they've been in the van.
I'm being killed by a stand user. Nah, this guy's a junky piece of shit. He's full of shit. He's lying. And then they see the woman also getting attacked. It's like, huh? I guess this guy's okay.
No, I totally agree that it comes out of nowhere and for no reason. I just think that's really funny that Araki was like, yeah, you know what? This is how I'm going to endear Charming Man to the group.
Well, it's not working. I don't find him endearing. Alright, next page, the eyeball comes out, which is pretty cool looking. But this is kind of pissing me off because now he's just a better Wu Tomaki.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I was thinking that when I read the chapter. This is just strictly better than Dr. Wu.
This
It's
is
just
also
better Wu
weird.
Tomaki.
This is also weird because is he doing the thing where he recontextualizes what Big Mouth's ability is? Because he didn't do anything like
Yeah,
this
he didn't
during
do
the fight.
anything like this. It was
Unless
illusions, and his skin was said to have a rough, coarse texture. He never
Yeah.
disassembled himself.
And like even like the abilities that he showed during the fight, like that would have been enough actually.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I could have lived with it if that was the extent of his abilities for the rest of the part.
Yeah, because it was so much fun visually. Like, that panel where he's actually the car. Remember that? He's actually a car.
Wherever he's integrated into the scenery is really cool.
Yeah,
But
that
this,
shit was awesome.
I borderline don't understand what the ability of Big Mouth is now. Until I get the stand sheet, like the stat sheet that explains it, I have no idea.
It appears to be a combination of Dr. Wu and fucking King Nothing.
Well, yeah, such that he can freely manipulate every part of his own body, basically however he wants. Not just to look like the environment, but to move through it physically because of his weird sand skin.
But then the question that I had is, can he put his entire body inside of an enemy?
Well, that's what I'm wondering now, too, because his eyeball seems to maintain the same size. It doesn't shrink down. So maybe gradually he could, but I don't know.
This is actually a good opportunity for us to read off, because I know Zach wanted to read off
right.
our
Yes.
conversation before the yeah.
Everyone's gonna play themselves. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
So it was at hang on, let me pin the start. So
May
I'm-
20th,
Yeah, I'll jump there.
2024.
I'm me.
May 20th, 2024, at 5:28 p.m., so 5 days ago, I had a Jimmy Neutron brain blast, and I typed in the Discord chat the simple message, "No Nut November Rain." And Casey responded 8 minutes
I
later
replied,
with this.
November Rain, only damage this guy's balls so he can't come.
You can't see it, but he's put damage in bold and calm in bold and balls in the quotes. It's incredible.
Yeah, I accentuated it as Araki would write it.
Yeah, you formatted it properly. He also said the
And
ultimate attack against Josuke because he has extra balls for extra no nutting.
Exactly.
insane.
Just damage those. It's a larger target, more surface area.
And then 2 minutes later, I said, "Mate Kudasai, give me this guy's balls."
Give me this guy's balls.
Just the balls.
3 more minutes
Smooth.
later, Casey.
Smooth operators. Morph this guy's urethra shut.
Merc.
1 minute later, Charming Man uses Big Mouth Strikes again to go inside the enemy stand user's ass and then reassemble himself.
Oh,
Casey, 0 minutes later.
0 minutes. With my stand, the hustle, I can inflict testicular torsion on this guy with just a simple nut tap.
And then I said, "Oh God, the
Oh
fucking
God.
torsion. He can give him the old dick twist with 0 torque."
And I said, I postulated that I think we found the strongest crew of stand users. No balls are safe anymore. We truly are become ball breaker now.
And I elaborated on my earlier point. Paco wouldn't even have to touch your nuts, he'd just have to touch you, and he could transfer the hustlage into your sack. Ever since the revelation that the hustle drops. Paco has just been obscenely busted. It's just Haman as a stand.
Transfer the hustlage into your sack is one of the greatest sentences I've ever seen get typed by anyone.
It is true. And then we've got the cock and ball crusaders. Testicles are not crash.
To which I rebutted. Testicles are crashing to this fucking fist, that is.
He just laughed like the Happy Mask salesman.
Thank you.
Casey said true. Merc said phantom balls, ballbuster tendencies, stardust ball breakers, scrotum is breakable.
Scrotum is breakable is such a dire. Oh.
I'm gonna go golden scrot, stone balls, stone nuts,
Stone balls.
steel
Balls of steel.
run. That one already writes itself.
I got balls of steel.
And I'm running. JOJOLian already has 4 balls in it. Doesn't even need to write a joke for that one.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, anyways, I was going back to Charming Man's first appearance to look at the coolness of how his ability was illustrated then. But yeah, so he puts his eyeball in, and as we can see, he's sending it into his lungs. Do you know the exact place to go to? An artery near the heart. Big mouth strikes again. That rough skin of yours, that's a stand? The sand?
La-di-da-di-da.
So the problem that I have with this, the next page is awesome. It's all black and the eyeball's going in. It goes in as just tiny dust particles, and then it reforms into the eye. And The eye is down there. It's looking around. I'm inside the right lung. Point the end of the straw towards your heart. I'll head that way. I'd really like more light here. And then, boom, the Mate Kudasai, the end of the straw, just morphs into some lights on it. Isn't that neat?
I didn't realize that's what it was doing.
I didn't even catch that. I thought...
I actually didn't realize that's what was happening.
I really would like more light here, but I'm moving forward. And then, boom, and it has the shine and the flick, so it turns on. It, sprouts a row of LED lights at the bottom of this straw for him.
So it's, automatic in response to anything.
Yes. It didn't... And the Mate Kudasai interpreted that as a request for light.
Interesting.
So, my question then is this. If the Mate Kudasai... If the Mate Kudasai... Well, could it go off by accident? That's a good question, but that's not my question right now. What I want to focus on is that if the Mate Kudasai doesn't have to turn into an object that already exists, it can turn into something that no one's ever made before in their entire lives, like a straw with a row of LED lights on the end, then why the fuck do we need Charming Man's stand at all? We should just say, hey, the Mate Kudasai, I want a straw with a light on it and a camera and a computer screen so I can see with the camera screens, and I want it to have a little gun that shoots stand bullets because you're a stand, the Mate Kudasai, so you can do that.
I was gonna say, to be fair, if we trace this back...
It's because these guys are a gang of criminals. They're not Rick Sanchez.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
That's a good point, and also, if we do trace it back, yeah, the security camera is another instance of technically him making something that doesn't exist.
A security camera which just is bad and films things that aren't there.
That films things wrongly.
I still don't feel like that was a better thing. I said this in our episode, but I still don't feel like that was a better thing to do than just break the camera.
Better solution, yeah.
Yeah, why? We have footage of people that looks like 99% exactly like us, except they're a little bit off. You don't think the courts are going to be like, yeah, that's basically you, and just throw you in jail?
No. With the U.S. legal system, absolutely not.
But they look like 99% identical to you. They just have a funny nose.
Well, all you need is plausible deniability.
But you could put on a funny nose. You could just put one on.
What we need is a Saul Goodman to enter the...
Yes,
exactly.
Oh my god, yes we do. I literally cannot wait for these characters to get arrested. I'm so excited about that.
If there is a straight up a court procedural arc, I would be so happy. It has nothing to do with stands at all.
That would be actually... No. It does. It's a
does.
stand battle in the courtroom
That would be cool.
Oh my god! But it's like
during the trial.
it's
It
like
needs to be
it's
it
like
needs to be a
Josuke
verbal-
trying not to cheat at dice. Like there's another.
Yeah.
The prosecutor is also a stand user, and you have to fool him. It's like the tuning exams, where
It needs to
you
be a
have to
verbal
cheat,
stand
but you
battle.
have to do it in a way where they don't see it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like Josuke
I
in the
need-
Beetle battle.
Yeah, exactly. I need more stands like that where stands are at play, but not
don't know.
overtly.
I don't know how Araki would write that, but I do want to see that. That
Like,
seems like such an amazing setup for a stand battle.
That would be great,
I-
especially if it's only the prosecutor who is against our protagonists who's a stand user. Like, our
What-
protagonists are stand users, the prosecutor is, but the defender, the Saul Goodman, does not see or know about stands.
Yeah.
That would
what
be
you
great, but he
need-
still has to just do the best job he can.
What you would need is another stand similar to parallel Talking Head from Part 5, where you say what the
Yeah.
opposite of what you mean.
Yeah.
But have it be a lawyer whose stand just makes people tell the truth.
Oh, man.
Right? Like, you're going to say the truth no matter
Hey.
what.
They attach it to one of the gang members, right? And then like they're on the stand, and when they're questioned, they're forced to answer.
Exactly,
by
yeah.
the stand.
You have to answer honestly.
What I want
It
specifically...
oh my god, I know what his stand should be.
What?
It should be the Bible that you swear upon.
Ah, you touch it. It's a bound stand.
yes.
It's bound to an object.
You have to admit that I'm going to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, and that activates the ability.
And it only binds one person at a time.
Yes, to whoever had just touched the Bible.
So when you
That's
get
a-
sworn in, you have to actually get sworn in for real. Like,
Yeah.
God is real.
That God becomes real.
You have to not lie in
Dude,
front
this
of him.
is amazing.
That would be so good.
I bet it's one of those stands that's like brought about by like Tonio Trussardi. Like he never got hit by the arrow. He's just really good at cooking. And
He's
his
just
stand
a
was
really
brought
good
about
chef.
from that.
Yeah. This
He's
guy's
just
a
a
really
lawyer who
good
really
lawyer.
believes in the law and in truth and justice and God and shit. And so for
That's-
him, when he makes you swear, it actually works. It's
I'm
just
so
his
glad-
belief in it that powers it.
I'm so glad that Araki is listening to this podcast
'Cause
right now.
that chapter's gonna be heat.
That's
This is
gonna be
this
hype.
is such a good concept that like even if this never happens in this part, I want it to happen in some form, in some other shape of media.
Media,
if
absolutely.
And if anybody finds that happening in some other media, send that to us.
Yes, there's something kind of similar in a comic. I can't remember if it's the Fable comic or there is a comic.
If you want to look
Where,
that up real quick, I've got something I want to request from this scene. I think it would be really, really great
Saga.
if the prosecutor who knows about stands and has one and can see them, prosecutor who can see stands, who's against our protagonist, he still is operating in a world of non-stand users, though. He can't just come out and say he killed him with his stand. He has to make it so that it's like an understandable thing for the normal populace so that they'll rule guilty. So it's like this guy is a good lawyer and he's like a good person. He like believes in justice and truth and God and the Bible stand is real and actually activates. But he does need to lie and make shit up and alter the story in order to get these kids put away. Because he can't just say it was a stand. Nobody knows what that is. He has to construct a false narrative in order to get them put away. But, like, they are bad guys, but he does have to lie to put them there. So it's like a conflict within himself. Maybe that's how you defeat him.
So then in order to defeat them, once they catch on to what's going on, they have to get the defense attorney to call the prosecutor to the stand so that he'll swear in on his own stand
Oof.
and be forced to tell the truth.
And the defense attorney is like, you know, he goes up and sits there and he's all cocky, the prosecutor, and the defense attorney's like, by the way, I seem to have misplaced my Bible. Would you mind if we use yours? And his blood just runs cold.
Because you know what else that would be?
And
is,
our protagonists need to be the one to hatch that idea and tell the defense attorney to do that because he doesn't know what stands are.
It would also parallel.
And if the prosecutor refuses to let him use the Bible, then something's up. So it's like Kagura Love is War. It's like he has to abide by the social strictures of the environment he finds him in. Otherwise, he loses the battle.
It would parallel Dragon's Dream as well, where it's an impartial judge.
Yeah.
The stand will affect him no matter what.
This is so fucking heat. I hope this happens.
If not, we're definitely stealing this idea for something. The comic is called Saga, and there is a cat. It is a green, like, little hairless cat, and it has the magical ability that if someone is telling a lie, it will just say lying. And even if it is, yeah, even if someone is like using a turn of expression, like saying something hyperbolic, the cat will take that as a lie and say, "Well, no, you're lying."
Sorry, I forgot what I was gonna fucking say.
Lawyer. I'm the best lawyer in the world.
The best lawyers in the warriors.
In the warriors.
Lying.
Lying.
That's interesting. That with the right accent, lawyer becomes liar.
Lawyer.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
do you know what the name of the stand should be called?
What?
Sweet Little Lies.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I like that. But yeah, the cat that knows when people are lying.
Cat that senses lies.
Back to the chapter, I guess.
Back to the chat. What the fuck was it? Like, it was something good. It was from another anime. It was a funny thing. Damn it. I can't remember. What were we talking about just before you brought up the lion cat?
Wait, there was a stand in JoJo that it was fucking not Osiris.
Terrence T. Darby's stand.
It's if you accept that you're wrong, that you've lost in your heart.
Well, it asks your soul a question, and your soul answers honestly. So when Jotaro has fully convinced himself... Or no, he's not fully convinced himself. The name of his stand? I don't remember.
Oh, God.
Atum,
yeah.
Yeah, good job. Atum. Yeah, he was asking Jotaro questions that Jotaro was answering wrong because his controller was unplugged. He didn't fucking know. But, like, if you had fully convinced yourself down to the basest level of your psyche that you didn't kill that guy, then your soul would answer no. I guess.
Well, yeah, that's how you would beat it. You would have to believe that what you're saying is the truth.
I remembered what I was going to say. It wasn't from an anime, but it was about a character who lies. It was about Pinocchio. There's this one Watsky line in one of his songs where he says, if I'm navel-gazing... If I tell you that I'm humble, then my nose will grow. And if I'm navel-gazing, I'm Pinocchio. That's a ritual seppuku, so it's back to your regularly scheduled braggadocio. If I'm staring myself in the navel and introspecting, and I try to tell you with a straight face that I'm humble, my nose will grow and pierce me through the stomach, dude.
That's awesome.
That's a kind of a fun visual.
Yeah. Pinocchio seppuku.
Pinocchio seppuku.
That man was cooking.
He was cooking. That's a good ass line. All right. Thank you. I actually can rest a little easier at night remembering the thing that I was going to say. It was about a character from a thing and lying, but it wasn't anime. That was screwing me up. Anyway.
Lying.
I fucking love lying. I love saying things that are not true.
I love manipulating information.
Me when I say things that are blatantly untrue.
Me when I spread a misinformation.
On the internet or in real life.
On the internet or in real life on the internet.
Me when the cop pulls me over and asks me, have you had anything to drink tonight, sir? And I say no.
I've had everything to drink tonight.
Alright, let's get back to this.
No one else gets a drop.
wait. Have you seen the thing of Superman where he says no one gets a drop?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
they're in the desert, and he's withholding water from a bunch of thirsty people.
Yes, I think I've shown this to you before.
Why would Superman say that? He's nice.
No, dude.
Superman-
Look at
Superman.
this shit.
This was part of the Silver Age of comics, where like they would always like
This
something
is so good.
Superman, we're all
Superman.
dying of thirst. You must let us drink the water.
Nobody gets a drop.
I love that it's emphasized like JoJo dialogue.
Yeah. Superman, we're all
Nobody.
dying of thirst. You must let us drink the water.
Nobody gets a drop.
We challenge you to guess the startling secret behind the miracle of Thirsty Thursday. Also, I just want to say, like, this lady and this man and the other men in the background are, like, all holding on for dear life, but that bitch in the background and that dog are dead.
They're just dead.
They have already succumbed to dehydration and are too
Superman-
far gone to now save.
Superman
people have
is
already
just...
died.
Yeah. Nobody gets a drop.
Nobody gets a drop.
Until Superman says.
My headcanon is that there's nothing evil in the water in that comic. He's just being an asshole.
I don't think this scenario even occurs in this comic book.
Well, what do
Superman
you
is just
mean?
trying
It
to
says
teach
right
them a
there, the
valuable-
miracle of Thirsty
This was-
Thursday.
No, this was part of the era where like they would just put anything on the cover to sell comic book.
Superman is just trying to teach them a lesson to build character.
Like at its weakest, what they would do is they'd slap Wolverine on a comic that he doesn't appear in, and
To get people to
like,
buy the comic.
at its worst, they'd have Superman doing shit like this.
I really hate comics from this era. Random bold and italics, clickbait front pages, and nobody talking like an actual human being. It's crazy these incredibly shitty writers had jobs, and someone else is like, I love them! These are the funniest thing in the world.
There should be a big red circle around the guy's
want-
hand, and then like an
I
arrow
want-
pointing at Superman, and then like a guy with an emoji, like surprised face on the panel beside it.
I want a great big Superman annual that is just the stories from these covers where he's being a dick.
Where he's acting grossly out of character for no
where it's
reason.
just evil Superman being
Yeah.
a dick.
Like, he's not corrupted by any supernatural external force. He just, like, snaps one day, and he just starts acting really mean.
Yeah, so
I need a Superman comic that's just the what if Thanos comic where he harasses one guy on his birthday every single year. Do you guys know what that one is?
Isn't that just Sabretooth and Wolverine?
A little bit, but there's a Thanos, like a one-off quick little comic where there's just
Does
this
Thanos- Does Thanos harass Wolverine on his birthday?
No, it's just a completely random guy. He's just like a guy named Steve in the Marvel universe, like a random civilian human guy. There's nothing.
Not the Steve. Not Steve
No,
Rogers.
I just said the name Steve like randomly. I don't remember the guy's actual name, but it's that genre of unassuming name. He's just a guy. He's not a mutant. He doesn't have any superpowers whatsoever. But Thanos just decided that he was going to harass him every single year of his life. On his birthday, he was going to do something terrible to him. He would like kill his dog, he would break him up with his girlfriend, kill his parents, flood his house, and it just kind of like culminates in the guy asking, he's like, "Oh, you're trying to teach me a lesson, right? That's what you're doing. I'm chosen. I'm special."
Okay, Casey, I know what
Yeah.
this is. This is just a retelling of the Book of Job.
A little bit, it kind of is. And the guy's just like, that's why you're doing this to me, right? And Thanos is like, no, I'm just doing this because I can.
Aw.
See you next year. Happy birthday.
okay, so
David, the guy's name is David.
I'm trying to figure this out. But also, I've found some other good
No,
stuff.
David, I don't care.
No, David, I don't care. See you next year.
Wow.
What a fucking dick.
He is so awesome.
He's an asshole. He's incredible.
I
Alright.
love Thanos.
So
He's the
in my
greatest.
search for context on this, I have found this. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. And he's gonna let him die
This
in
is
the
one
desert.
that I saw.
But
pretty
sorry,
good.
Jimmy, the ground rules only allow one survivor. You or Aquaman.
Superman! Stop this crazy test! Let us share that water or we die!
Oh god, that's so funny. Yeah, this Thanos comic is one of my favorites.
The completely credible non-adventures of every man.
Happy birthday, David. You got me fired? No, bad luck. Then your cat is dead.
I have one more for you. Here's Superman exiling the Central Park 5 from Earth.
Superman, why are you doing this to us? For your own good. Superman.
A quick reminder that the Central Park 5 was later exonerated by DNA evidence.
No.
The exonerated 5.
Yeah.
It's for your own good.
Don't worry, he brought them back.
Superman.
Did he? I mean, he
What?
can.
Superman, you can't do this. They're
Okay.
already dead.
Well, he gave them a bubble.
Oh, okay.
They're in like a bubble.
Superman can do that.
Okay, check this out. So
Oh,
I was
God.
trying to figure out how this Thirsty Thursday thing happens. And I think
No, David, I don't care. See you
debuting in the
next year.
pages of Superman Volume 1, number 293. This is the Superman Nobody Gets a Drop cover.
Have you seen
Nobody.
the one? Have you seen the cover where Superman and Lois Lane are in space and he snaps Lois Lane's breathing tube?
What? What?
Dude,
Yeah, that's real.
why would he do that? I know there's like a one comic from like the 1970s where Lois Lane goes into a machine and she comes out on the other side and it turned her black.
Oh no!
That's what no.
Okay. So the
Lois
origins
Lane.
of Thirsty Thursday begin with hapless
There's-
Star Lab scientist Dr. Ishmael.
Oh my-
He's developing a volatile liquid food substitute, and he just straight up drops a vial full of the shit on the ground, spilling its contents everywhere. Turns
Oh.
out the food substitute is crazy deadly, so Ishmael quaffs an antidote, but accidentally grabbed the formula that turns you into a caveman with super strength, and so he becomes a crazy superpowered idiot who promptly runs outside to beat up Superman.
No.
Additionally, the food substitute formula exposed to air disperses promptly around the entire city and gives everyone who breathes it a pathological fear of water. This is a terrific food substitute formula. Can't wait until it's on the market. Even Superman can't handle two crises of this scale simultaneously, having also just saved a baby from dying in a fire. In any
As you
case,
do.
so as to keep the citizens of Metropolis safe from overexertion until the formula wears off and they can drink water again, and to give himself some free time to finish beating the shit out of Dr. Ishmael, Superman roofies the entire city. Using his
Superman!
heat vision, he pops open a Star Lab sub-basement full of sleep gas, dropping everyone in the town where they stand and neatly solving the problem of a laboratory maintaining a secret chamber full of chemical weapons under a highly populated city.
Is that worse? Better or worse than if he had just actively deprived the entire city of water?
It all works out in the end, but apparently Superman never bothers to tell anyone in Metropolis why they all fell asleep at once in their cars and at their desks on the subway and street, curled up like babies among the rats and human filth.
In their cars?
Amongst the rats and the filth?
The absence of an explanation is evidenced by the story's bookends, wherein historians from the far future have repeatedly traveled back in time to unravel the reason behind Thirsty Thursday, originally known as No One Likes Water and Everyone Got Sleepy Day. It's still a mystery, of course, because all the time-traveling historians choose to stay in the same hotel. Besides Miracle Monday and Thirsty Thursday, Superman books also logged Superman-related holidays for every other day of the week.
What is Superman doing?
Well, this is half jokes and half an actual
I just-
summary.
I have
Why
to
does
direct your
Why
attention to the
do-
cover for Superman's girlfriend.
Oh
Why
no! Hang on.
Why does Super
on which we see Superman
Why does Superman do these things?
This is
tethered
insane.
to an Apollo lander, and
Oh,
Lois's speech bubble reads, "Gasp! Superman snapped my air hose because I won't marry him. He's committing the perfect murder."
Oh my god.
And the title says,
No witnesses in outer space.
and Superman says, "I need
Why
a
the fuck
boyfriend.
does she look like Betty Boop also?
I need a boyfriend-free girl."
Oh god.
And
Okay,
then
let's see the other one. Is
Is
this real?
It's so real. It's super real.
Yes.
Is
That-
this real?
Are you sure
The
you want
answer
to
is
go
always
this
yes.
Lois? Yes,
I am
Superman.
curious. Parentheses black.
Close this body mold and switch on the power. It's important that I live the next 24 hours as a black woman.
Do you think
I am
Lois like
curious.
decided what clothes to put on that she'd want to walk out as a black woman in, and she chose that?
I am
Guys,
curious.
guys,
Parentheses
don't
black
forget,
exclamation mark.
Lost another
Explosive adventure of Rose and Thorn.
Rose and the thorn.
Right.
I am open parentheses black close parentheses.
Do you
exclamation
remember?
mark.
Do you remember?
It's very important she becomes black.
I saw a tweet like a couple weeks ago where it was like me in a brawl with two non-binary motherfuckers, and it says, "I'm fighting tooth and nail out here."
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, apparently it was actually a real plot point because she wanted to like do a journalism piece on a black community in the 70s.
Wasn't there a plot line where the Punisher became black?
There was a plot line where the Punisher became black. There's also a plot line where he teams up with Eminem.
What?
Yeah, you don't know?
The
Oh
Punisher, Eminem.
Casey, pull that up. Pull that up.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Punisher
What
and
the hell?
Eminem.
Eminem and the Punisher, Volume 1.
It's so real. You
What
have
in
no
the
idea.
fuck? This was a one-shot, right? I mean, there's not more than one of
Yeah.
these.
No, there's not. There can't be. There
He's
was also
holding,
a
like, a fucking Uzi.
There's
oh my
also
God.
There's a what if.
He fights. Hang on, sorry. Tell me that.
No, you're good. No. There's a one-off comic where the Punisher gets the powers of Doctor Strange, and he becomes the Sorcerer Extreme,
Whoa.
and he just goes. Yeah, it's awesome, and he just goes around killing all of the Marvel Universe. And my favorite is when he kills the Hulk, because the Hulk is like running at him, and he's like, I'm gonna Hulk smash you. And all Punisher does is he looks at him and he holds his hand out and he says, "Calm," and it calms the Hulk down, and he turns back into Bruce Banner, who is understandably confused at what's happening, and in the next second, Punisher just says "dust," and then he dies.
Dust!
It's so raw. The Punisher is so cool. Punisher,
This is crazy.
Sorcerer Supreme. Here it is.
This is insane. I'm looking at the Eminem shit right now.
Yeah, the comics are the Wild West. Yeah, here's the panel. Oh, I knew I got the phrasing right.
Calm.
Usually I
Dust.
paraphrase these things, but I got this one exactly right.
It's-
I just love
it's,
Bruce. I just love Bruce Banner being like, "Where am I? What? Sorry, Banner. Dust." Pew!
Dust.
I think he also kills like Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, and Galactus in this comic run. He kills like everybody.
Is this by any chance Punisher kills the Marvel Universe?
No, this is just what if. This is a what if comic. I don't know why he's killing these people. I just know that he's got Doctor Strange's powers, and this is how he chooses to use them.
I mean,
Yeah, he kills like Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man.
I don't think that there is a better use for these powers. I mean,
Well, no,
if I was
that's-
Doctor Strange, I would also just be turning people I didn't like into dust.
Yeah, that's
Also,
why I like
that might be the
idea
only
of
way to make the Punisher character design cool again. Because I don't really like the Punisher. I associate him with like the shithead cops that use the Punisher skull.
Sure.
Unfortunate.
Which, to be fair, he would hate. Frank Castle would hate
hates
that.
it in canon. There's a comic
He
about this
does.
exact thing.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't fucking have any right to this symbol. You don't understand it.
No.
but
You don't understand it. Sometimes comic writers don't understand it.
I
with
don't
the
really
Punisher
fuck with the
comics.
Punisher like that, but that might be the only way to make his outfit cooler is to give him a big fuck off cape.
Is give
him
him
the
the
big
big dumb
Dracula
Doctor
cape.
Strange cape and do nothing else.
Yeah, literally. Just walk around and have him gesture at things and explode them.
Yeah. Like, that must make him so happy, because he's just ostensibly a guy with guns. But imagine he just suddenly gets the infinite power of the magic cosmos.
Now his hands are just the guns.
Exactly. Now he can just point at things and be like, "You're guilty. Die."
You know what concept I think is cool? You guys ever fuck with Spawn? I've never read any Spawn, but I think the concept of
I've
a
never
guy
read any Spawn.
who has terrifying kill you instantly demon powers, but using them eats into his time that he's allowed on Earth, and he's only got
Yes.
so much and there's no renewing that. So he really doesn't want to use his powers, so he'd rather just use guns.
That would have been a
Mhm.
really cool concept if they stuck to it.
Did they not?
Did they not?
They did not.
Oh.
Did his power just become that he's like cool?
It became infinite.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's lame because
Oh.
I like the idea of that because obviously
I-
I want to draw my cool crazy demon edgy insert self OC holding guns, but there's no reason for him to
But the
do
only
that if he's already got fantastical demonic powers. So giving them a limitation and one that he cares about
Well, I was gonna
is a
say,
brilliant move as a writer.
I like
I think the
overpowered
problem-
characters, but I also like overpowered characters that have a hard limit that they have to creatively work around.
Right.
I think the problem is you can't really have a long running character with a time limit.
Right.
Yes.
Well, yeah, like you
You
have All
Like,
Might,
if-
for
like,
example.
if Spawn was a graphic novel, then like you could do this.
You know what a really good example of that is, actually, from a not so good anime / manga / whatever, is are you familiar with Seven Deadly Sins?
Ugh.
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
that's a respectable answer. I haven't seen much of it myself, but I know it's poopy. It's got bad reputation.
to go. Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. But there's one character who I'm sorry is shackled to that series, and his name is Escanor, and he's the Knight of the Sun. He represents the sin of pride. And the way his power works is that he is as strong as the height of the sun in the sky during the day. So at night, he's completely weak. He's just like this meek, like timid little man. But during the day and whenever the sun is out, he's super duper strong. And for 1 minute every day, when the sun is at the apex of its height above the earth, he gains like infinite power just in a and he's just called the One. And it's so cool. But he only has that power for a single minute
That's pretty
while the
cool.
sun is in the sky. Yeah,
That's
it's
like
awesome.
the Fire Nation losing their powers during the eclipse. Like, you've got
Yeah,
1
no,
minute,
it's-
bitch. Like, all the
it's
Fire
really-
Nation, all of our powers are turned off. You've got 8 minutes, bitch. See what you can do.
Kind of. It's also
Make it
kind of.
count.
It also kind of reminds me of. Are you familiar with the DC superhero Hour Man?
No.
His whole thing is that his powers come from a drug called Miraclo, and what happens is he takes this drug, and he has the powers of Superman for 1 hour.
Oh, fuck.
Awesome. That's super cool. 1 hour every day or 1 hour like period?
1 hour when he takes the drug. I assume there's bad effects
There's
when
side
he
effects, I
Gotcha.
bet,
takes
yeah.
too
Okay.
much of it.
Oh, I thought you meant it was like a one-time thing. Like he takes the drug, and then anytime he chooses, he has 1 hour to be
Well, does the
Superman.
drug only work for him, or could anyone take it?
Anyone could take this drug.
Okay,
Interesting.
I'm sorry, but a shadowy government entity, sorry, Hour Man, knock, knock, knock. Hello, it's me, I'm shadowy government entity. I totally do not work for or in collaboration with Wayne Tech at all. We're here to seize your entire supply of the drug that turns you into Superman for an hour. No reason,
Also-
we just think we might need it.
You know what's funny? In the Earth 2 continuity, Thomas Wayne used the drug when he uses the drug when he becomes Batman.
Fuck yeah,
Oh my
so he
God.
has the powers of Superman.
But he's
Well,
Batman.
It's weaker in that continuity.
What if he
Because
took a
they-
drug
because they
that?
didn't-
What if he took a
because
drug
they
that
didn't really
gave
have
him the
Power Man
powers
in
of
that
Batman?
version.
Okay, Casey, you're off the show. I'm kicking you off.
What if he took a drug that made him like super rich and gave him a bunch of gadgets for an hour?
You know what's fucked up
Also-
is that Iron Man and Batman are never going to get to fight each other? Because that's like
Also-
the two who should definitely cross over and fight each other.
Also, Cowboy Spawn is so cool. I love Wild
I'm
West.
showing that on screen in the fucking...
Actually,
Yeah.
I mean, Batman enters public domain in like 2036 or something, right?
Really? Let me look that up.
What version?
like
I mean, it would have to be like the very
It's-
initial version of
It's
Batman.
Detective Comics number 27, I think.
Right.
2034. Yeah, that's 95 years from the publication of Detective Comics number 27. So what falls out of copyright is the stories themselves. Detective Comics
But
27.
the point is, as long as it's that version of Batman and doesn't
As long
bring in
as-
any
Yeah,
and
Batman
doesn't
looks
bring in
like
any
a
elements
dork.
from later stories.
They still could not call the comic Batman or Detective Comics on the cover. Like if you could,
But you could have him fight Iron Man.
yeah. DC
Yeah.
still owns the trademark to the name, which is a separate issue. They could not include Robin or Alfred because those elements are not contained in the first story. Couldn't depict him with the gloves with the thing sticking out of him because in Detective Comics 27 he has short purple gloves.
Also, his
So
cowl
could use
is like
Batman, but only the elements of him from that issue. No Alfred, Robin, Joker, Batman, Batmobile, not even his origin.
that's fine. Then you get you get a free OC to do with whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I have to point out, Marvel could
Uh-oh. Marvel could what?
have Iron Man.
They could what?
Marvel could have Marvel. Hang on,
Go ahead.
hang on. Marvel.
Marvel.
Hang on.
Marvel?
Shit.
Go ahead.
I keep cutting out. This is important.
I want
Okay.
to hear it. I can hear you. You're fine.
Marvel only could have Iron Man fight Batman after 2034. But if anyone else wants
God damn it.
No.
to have,
If anyone else wants to. Oh.
I think he's probably just going to say if anybody else wants to do it, they'll have to wait for Iron Man and quote this the year
let me
on
just type it in the chat because
Mhm.
you and one of you could read it.
that. All right.
Because fuck.
Fuck indeed, man. I'm sorry. I know this is a whole ordeal and pain in the ass and a struggle. But we're going to get through this. We're
Together
most of the way through the chapter anyway.
as a family. We did kind of skim through it, to be fair.
Yeah, but also like I'm like I'm stopping to talk about the stuff that I want to talk about, but also like we spend so much time bullshitting, and that's actually
Right.
what I am here for. That's what's fun about the podcast.
Oh, exactly.
That I feel the need to kind of rush through parts that we don't have a ton to say about instead of just like reading every page like I used to. I used to read every page out loud. But the stuff that I don't have stuff to say about, I'm skipping through to make more room for bullshitting.
Okay, there it is.
The important thing here is only Marvel can have Iron Man fight Batman until 2034. After 2034. If anyone else wants to have Iron Man fight Batman, they have to wait until 2059. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly what I thought he was going to say. That's the
Right.
thing. I'm so good at decoding Merc off of robot voice, like from the robot voice back to what he actually meant to say. I was pretty sure that's exactly what he was saying. He was just going to quote us the year that Iron Man is going to go.
But what if
In the
I
public
made my
domain.
own Iron Man? Legally
Yeah,
distinct.
sure you could, buddy.
And what
I
if
mean,
I
you could.
made? What if I made my own Batman?
What if?
What if I pulled? What if I
Sure.
pulled an Invincible season 2 and have Agent Bat fight Agent Iron, fight Agent Spider.
But what if I were to purchase fast food and disguise it as my own cooking?
What if I purchased my own Batman comic and disguised it as my own work?
What if I were to purchase Batman and disguise it as my original creation? Oh, delightfully devilish, Seymour.
Delightfully devilish,
Superintendent,
Seymour.
I was just drawing an OC. Care to join me?
Good lord, what is happening in there? Copyright infringement?
I was gonna say adaptation. I don't know. A reasonable adaptation?
May I see it? No.
No.
Okay, I think. Sorry. I was saying I think we need to get back to the chapter.
Yeah, I think so. A reasonable adaptation of 1940s Batman at this time of the year, in theaters soon, created entirely in your kitchen.
Yes. Well, may I see it? No.
In theaters soon. A reasonable adaptation of 1940s Batman.
Are you copying Batman? No, mother, it's just my OC. Do not steal.
Steamed hams. This is every episode we do this, guys. We decide that Coolio should travel back in time and trick down and go inside Elvis's body, or we rewrite steamed hams so that it's about Batman going public domain and Skinner wants him.
What does this mean for the next JoJo chapter?
I don't know, but we do one of these every
stealing
episode.
Yeah, we do one really good hypothetical.
Or we're pitching a movie or something. Okay, alright, let's fucking focus, because let's get through the rest of this. Charming Man, you're heading towards his heart. This is right after the little guy makes a hole in the blood vessel and dives into it and goes away.
While we're talking about the little guy, what are our predictions for his name? Something we can actually feasibly predict, maybe.
Littlefoot, Bigfoot. The song by Childish Gambino.
No, it can't be. I think we might finally have it. We might finally have My Chemical Romance as a stand.
Oh my god.
I think we finally done it.
What if it's just called Hurt?
Hurt would be good. It could also just be called Cancer because that's a My Chemical Romance song.
Actually, no. If you look at the little guy's face, that does sort of look like an M, like a stylized M on his face.
Don't give me hope.
Yeah. Maybe that is My Chemical Romance.
Don't give. You're right, because it's got like the point down the middle and then down on the sides of his head.
That's because he's a Majin, you guys. He's under the control of Bobbity.
No, it can't be. Boo. Majin Boo.
Bobbity is here.
Super tiny Boo.
That reminds me of Super Little Goku. Ever told you guys about Super Little Goku?
Who is Super Little Goku?
Super Little Goku. This is my favorite. This is from Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, which is a terrible game released on the PS1. And it came out while in America we were still on fucking Dragon Ball, or we were just like barely on the Saiyan saga. But this game has shit in it from the fucking Buu saga and GT as well. So you have Goku, and then you also have Super Little Goku.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This game looks like awesome.
He's a separate selectable character, Super Little Goku.
Super Little Goku.
And that makes me laugh so hard. He's Super Little Very Tiny Goku.
So it's not exactly like as cut and dry as I'd like it to be. But this is the logo for the My Chemical Romance album, Conventional Weapons.
Ooh!
Okay, alright, you're cooking.
Now, to be fair, stylized arrows are just a thing that
JoJo
Araki
thing,
does a
yeah.
lot.
They're everywhere.
But in my own heart, in my heart of hearts, I am holding on to this until proven otherwise.
Super My Chemical Romance as well, though, because they
Yeah,
are my favorite band.
Yeah, if anyone were to be the verifiable source here, it would be Mark. So I'm holding on to hope that this little guy is My Chemical Romance The Stand, and that we finally done it.
I hope he's named after my band that I have never created or made any music for, but it's called Miniature Furniture.
That's a good name for a band.
Yeah,
That's
but
really...
it's spelled like this. It's spelled like that.
Miniature Furniture.
Do you know what's another My Chemical Romance song title that it could be?
What?
Is Bulletproof Heart.
Ooh!
Bulletproof Heart.
I'm trying to think of something that has to do with, like, 6 legs. Like, why does he have 6 little feetsies?
Oh, does he? Oh, yeah, he does. Oh, he's got way too many feet.
Bulletproof Heart is off the album The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys, which, if you recall, has the album cover with the spider on the front.
It does. It does have the spider. Which spiders have 8 legs, and he has 6 legs and 2 arms, which is 8. And this is the 9th part of JoJo, where if you subtract 1, you get 8, and because he's... And because...
I was just gonna let you keep going on that one until you tuck yourself out there, kid.
Because Gerard Way only started started the band because of 9/11.
Careful, Casey! Don't go full Scott Steiner.
And if you subtract 9 from 11, you get 2. And if you add 2 to 9, you get 11.
Normally, when you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning, but I'm a genetic freak and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best of beating me.
You see, Joe? The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at sacrifice.
Yeah, and you take 2 minus 8, you get 6. And who
My
is the character?
140% chance. The odds of winning drastically go down.
Is 2 minus 8 equals 6 a Terrence Howard thing?
Maybe.
No, but Terrence Howard is like a crazy person now.
No, but if 8
Howard math is like a thing that I've been hearing about.
He is a crazy person that makes up math. But if you minus 2 to 8 from 2, you get 6, and then you get 6, and so that means that this guy will be the 6th party member of his little tiny stand. Will go on little tiny adventures and fight little tiny Super Goku.
2 plus 2, that's 4. Minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths.
That's not true.
What the fuck?
Not, but it was.
Everyday man's on the block.
But it was quick.
That was true. 2 plus 2, 4.
What?
Minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths.
Oh.
Why did you not think that was correct?
I don't know.
What the fuck? It was from a thing. I didn't just do that on the fly. I was from something.
He leaned too far into the bad math.
Yeah,
that's true. I committed so into the bad math, it became real. See, I would have been able to evade the lawyer's stand, because I didn't believe that 3 minus 2 was...
You're that convinced in your own mind.
I believed in my own soul. Yeah, I didn't admit defeat in my heart that 3 minus 1 was 2.
Alright, so, back to the chapter. If you can see here, the stand has 6 legs, plus 2 arms.
My Chemical Romance, plus 2 arms. That makes 1 stand, that's 9.
You just laughed like the Happy Mask salesman again!
I'm gonna play
the laugh
the movie.
that you do with your mouth closed is very Happy Mask salesman.
I'm gonna play him in the movie, dude.
Your little chuckle, your little chortle. By the way, I just wanted to point out, we mentioned 9/11 on every episode now. Maybe that should be the new Yotsuyu Yagiyama.
Oh my god, and then instead of playing a bell, we play the sound of the...
Hey, there it is. Thank you.
Instead of the bell, we play the sound of the plane hitting the tower.
No! That's awful. Here's my response to that joke. That's my response in that order.
It's all of them.
My response to that information.
Oh my god.
I like that it started with the crickets to give people time to process the joke,
And then they clapped a little.
They really liked it.
Yeah, they decided, oh, you know what? I think I'll give him that one, actually.
And then they started popping off harder with the air horns.
Yeah, like the reaction built. It was like once people around them started cheering, they got permission to cheer.
Like, okay,
And then the crowd
okay.
just went wild.
It's a bold move. Let's see where they're going with this.
Okay, shut up. Back to the chapter.
It's like my
Charming man.
I have to add this real quick. I'm sorry, just because it reminded me. Do you know? Have you guys played Bloons Tower Defense?
Yes.
So do you know the Moab balloons?
Yes.
Do you know what soundbite they sampled for that popping?
No.
It's the Hindenburg.
Oh my god, really?
Use the
No.
Hindenburg for the Moab popping sound effect. I'm not joking.
Oh my god. Hey, while we're on this topic, while we're on the 9/11
Oh,
and
the humanity
disasters.
indeed.
Oh, the humanity.
So,
While we're on the topic, Zach.
Yeah.
yeah.
What you were saying.
I've
Sorry.
got this right here. Open
I got
image
this
in
right.
new tab. This is one of the best 9/11 jokes I've seen in a long time.
Oh
It was
boy.
really good. It's on Twitter. It's by this person I like on Twitter who makes comics, and she's really funny. And here we go. Give it up, everybody, for House of Decline.
Oh god. It's weird how 9/11 became a national holiday. Oh no, that means what's this? What's this? It's Jack Skellington. What's this? What's this? This towers everywhere.
And now there are not.
It's Silent Hill 2. There was a tower here. It's gone now.
You remember that? I've referenced this before, but in fucking Kill Bill Volume 2, where he's like, look at that. There used to be your name there.
It's
There
gone
used
now.
to be some towers there.
There used to be a Twin Towers there. So I postulated this earlier.
Speaking of, this was hours ago, but I was talking about Smiling Friends. I have Alan living in my head now. After the most recent season, the most recent episode, I am like walking around at work, and I'm like upset that I can't find where this screw goes. And I'm like, I can't find where to put this screw.
Where does this screw go? I love his overpronunciation.
Right, screw. Like he's oversaying everything, and also the sort of neurotic, but I don't really care that much, but I am gonna get this stupid paperclip task done-ness of Alan. That's me too. Like I'm walking around like I've decided to care about this thing.
He's like Squidward if Squidward cared like 10% more about any situation he was in.
Well, Squidward seems like he's always just like too busy for whatever's happening. Like he'd rather be somewhere else.
He's too good for the moment.
Right. Alan doesn't seem to have that sort of like what would you call that? Presumptuousness or pretentiousness about himself? He doesn't presume to be above
ego.
What he's doing in any way.
Yeah,
but
he doesn't have that
like,
ego.
He doesn't care about the things other people care about, but he cares about his own shit quite a lot. But he doesn't take that out on other people like Squidward does. Squidward likes to lord that and be like, I listen to the radio.
I'm Squidward.
But yeah, Alan is like, I have friends who are like plural and they're like fictive systems, and I know this girl who has Shadow the Hedgehog living in her head. That's one of her personalities. And all that seems like, I love it. I'm down for it. I rock with you. I'll ride for you. I'll slide for you. But it seems a little silly to me and hilarious. But it's also like, why not be silly and hilarious and just be like, yes, I think about Shadow the Hedgehog so much, he might as well just live in my head and be one of my many personalities. I could role play as him. Like, I know exactly what he'd say in every scenario. That means I just have Shadow in my head. That's me with Alan now. Alan's my first fictive. I've accepted Alan into my brain. And I just walk around and I'm doing the little voice that he does, and it's really easy and also a lot of fun.
Fun.
The way he hits his T's, it's a lot of fun.
I'm
Anyway.
spraying this creature with dirty brown water.
Dirty brown water.
I hate this red
I'm like,
thing.
I'm whenever I'm just like walking around and I'm like in that sort of like mode, then the voice always comes out. So I have Alan in me now.
I
just wanted my cheese.
My cheese.
Sorry, I bet we're driving
love-
Merc completely fucking insane right now.
Oh, it's okay.
That's what he's supposed to say, you jerk. You're not supposed to say that for him.
No.
Okay.
I'm just enjoying the chaos.
Cool,
See?
man. This is why
See,
we
I
love
told
you.
you. It was fine. It was chill.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be like, it's fine, it's chill. You're not supposed to say that for him.
He's chill. He's chilling.
I'm in my house, just chilling. I was
He's in his
chill.
house.
I'm
I
in my
was chill.
house, chilling.
I was chill.
chill.
That's funny. I'm gonna think about
I'm-
that all the time from now on.
I'm in your house.
Fuck
What?
that. Charming Man's in his fucking blood vessels. Let's get back to the
I'm in-
goddamn chapter.
I'm in your lung.
I'm in your lung, and I'm going into your blood vessel, and I'm going to your heart. No, he's going to his head. So
He's
he
going to his
decides,
brain.
I'm going to follow it. He goes into the blood vessel, and he's chasing the fucking thing. I caught up to it, and he's grabbed it. He's got it pinned down. It's a physically weak stand. I'm dragging this thing
I love
outside.
This panel, the panel where he says, I caught up to it, the stand's movements are dull and slow. The fact that he has 6 legs makes
Yeah.
it look like he's running really fast, like
Yeah.
a Looney Tunes character. Like, you can hear the Fred Flintstone...
Right, the blibbity 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 blibbity.
I love that.
And then he zooms off. Well, actually, the
Yeah,
blibbity
but-
blibbity is usually while they're running in place, and then they pew off. So
And
he's
then he
actually
goes,
just doing. He's hitting a perfect blibbity blibbity right now.
Yeah, he's charging up to hit the speed boost.
He's doing the Sonic CD peel out,
Yeah.
standing in place and going, and then he's gonna. Pew. Hang on, Mr. Robot. What were you gonna say, Mark?
Just the stand has the glass robot eyes that
It does.
become common.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has those. It has the fucking the Highway Star
The
eyes. The fucking Black
Hierophant
Sabbath
green.
eyes.
3.
What?
Echoes Act 3, I think.
Echoes
Yeah.
Act 3 has these eyes. Gold Experience has these fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The robot eyes.
The Robo Eyes.
The Robo eyes.
The robot. The robots.
The roboticization. That's how you robotize something.
See, my wife tells me about these robot eyes.
Oh boy, we got Columbo back in here. Hey, is there anyone that the Locacacast needs to like add to its repertoire of funny characters that we come up with? You know?
Oh gosh.
It's gonna happen organically.
Yeah.
No. I mean, is there anybody from today?
That's what I'm trying to think back of. I think we hit like a couple of good ones.
I think so, right?
We got Rod
We-
Sterling in there now.
We
Oh,
got
we had
in
him
there.
already. We had him already.
Yeah.
We for sure had Rod Serling
Who did
already.
who did we do today? I know we did a couple of guys.
Who do we
I
have
know-
in the
I know
pinned
it.
messages?
I know it in my heart. We must have.
Elvis, Columbo, Coolio, and Yujiro Hanma.
Yujiro Hanma. Now add Rod Serling.
Rod Serling, okay.
Now
Slim
add-
Shady, yeah, we already got that.
Superman
Slim Shady. There we go.
Superman
What was that, Mark?
specifically from the
Superman. Yes.
Dickhead
Yes. That's
Superman.
it.
Those others.
Specifically, evil Superman, who is evil all the time for fun. Yes.
Rod Serling, Dickhead Superman, parentheses, nobody gets a drop.
Parentheses black exclamation mark.
Black Lois.
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 I know it's in. I know it's Lois Lane, but with the first thing you said, Black Lois.
Yeah.
made me think of Lois from Family
Oh
Guy.
my god, this is almost as bad as the time I turned myself black.
And Peter is like,
No.
that wasn't you, honey. That was Lois Lane. She's like, really? And it still cuts
No,
to the
and
cutaway.
then, then Peter's like, that wasn't you, that was me.
What?
You don't remember? You don't remember when Peter Griffin became black?
Yeah, sure. I guess I do now. I mean, I don't, but I can conceptualize it. I know what it would be drawn like. Like, I know Seth MacFarlane would do that.
What do you mean you've never seen Peter Griffin become black before?
It reminds me of one of my favorite Family Guy jokes, though, which is where he's like, I invited over these 80s black guys. And the 80s black guys are like, word up, man. We're going to do a benefit concert to save the rec center. And then the 90s black guys show up and they're shooting at them. And he's like, run, 80s black guys! You're no match for the 90s black guys!
Run, 80s black guys! You're no match for the 90s black guys.
You're no match for them!
You didn't put Slim Shady on the list.
I didn't? Oh, no, yeah, no, sorry. He was up there, but I forgot to add him to this one. Yeah, he should go right below Yujiro Hanma. Slim Shady.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, no. It's been a fun one. Rod Serling, Dickhead Superman, Black Lois. 9/11 should be a character on here.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know that there's a character, but
The towers themselves.
yeah.
Oh, there's Peter.
Mark, there's Black Peter. Mark, there's multiple. There's another Black Peter. Here's another one.
Stop with this. Why do I need to see all the Black Peters, you fuck?
That
one's worse.
I'm assembling a team.
I'm not even gonna show these on the podcast. Fuck you.
Why not? They're real.
Hey, speaking of Family Guy and Seth MacFarlane and 9/11 in the same breath, did you know Seth MacFarlane was supposed to die
He was
in
supposed
9/11?
to. Yes, he was supposed to be on the planes.
Yeah, so was Mark Wahlberg.
So was Mark Wahlberg, who infamously said if he was on those planes, 9/11 wouldn't happen.
Well, he didn't quite say that. He just says it wouldn't have gone down like it did.
It wouldn't have gone down like it did.
So what? It would go faster?
No, he would have.
It would have gone down slightly different in that Mark Wahlberg would have been on the plane.
In the moment, he would have had enough like racially motivated energy to stop at least one of the planes from hitting the World Trade Center.
What do you mean, at least? What, you think he's gonna do something to stop one of the planes he's not in?
I wouldn't...
It's already a huge stretch to believe that he's gonna be able to do anything to affect the fate of the plane that he's in. He's gonna affect other planes?
What if he really wanted it? What if he really locked in?
Dude, you know what would be a funny prank? Imagine you're the first person to invent a time machine, and the first thing you do with it is you go to Mark Wahlberg and you put him in it, you take him back to 9/11, you put him on the plane that morning, and you're like, figure it out, asshole, prove it.
You said you could do it. Show me.
That's awesome.
My money long like Mark Wahlberg.
What if he actually did then? It's like holy shit.
He's like, okay, real recognize real.
Or do you think?
I thought you were just talking that shit.
But no, I mean that's one response. But don't you think there's a universe where he realizes what's happened and where he is, and that you're doing this to him for real, and that it's not a dream, and he actually now has to go stop 9/11? Don't you think there's a universe where he realized that that's what's happening, and he goes, finally.
Been waiting for this.
Finally. Like his eyes narrow and you can just tell he's locked the fuck in. Like he's thought about it every day of his life. He's been training for this.
Oh. I like when Seth MacFarlane references that he was supposed to have been on the 9/11 flights. Because he's done it in Family Guy.
What you do actually, once you get a time machine, is you need to get Mark Wahlberg on the planes. After he successfully stops that plane from crashing into the tower, then you grab him from there, put him on the other plane.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg needs to do a Fantastic Journeys through the 9/11 planes.
It's called A Fantastic Voyage, but also I really like this idea that, like, through the magic of time travel, we just deploy 5 Mark Wahlbergs all at once in each of the 5 planes.
Each of the 5 billion places have 9/11.
Once he gets off, like he comes back from his first successful run of stopping the first one, you clap him on the back because you're the scientist, and you're like, "That was great stuff out there, Mark. 4 more to go."
He's like, what?
I
And
mean,
he's like,
soon.
"Yeah, that was just training to see that if you could do the rest." That was the
It's
easiest one, Mark.
Airplane Wahlberg 5.
Why does he need to get on the plane? Why doesn't he just fight the terrorists?
What do you mean? Why doesn't he? The whole point is to.
You remember
If we're
that? Do you remember that? Do you remember the?
Well, if we're sending him back in time, why don't we just put him right before the plane,
Jan
like,
Michael Vincent,
takes off?
Do you remember the? Do you remember the Jan Michael Vincent bit in
Yes.
Rick and Morty
Yes.
Dimensional Cable?
I honestly thought you were going to say, do you remember the Key and Peele bit where they're talking about the terrorists?
But with 9/11 and 5 Mark Wahlberg.
In a world with 5 Mark Wahlbergs. That's right. They duplicated him, either through time travel or cloning, not sure. 5 Mark Wahlbergs. That's how many they have in this movie, where he stops 9/11. Yes, that's right. Every last plane. 1 Mark per plane.
Can only stop one 9/11. They can't stop more than one 9/11.
But oh no, there's 2 more 9/11s happening at the same time, which
He can't
means
stop more than
15 Mark Wahlbergs.
Plane number 14. I need 2 Mark Wahlbergs to plane number 15.
more than one 9/11.
For one night only.
Merc, can we add to the Department of Anomalies 5 Mark Wahlbergs, multiple 9/11s, and infinite Hitlers?
While we are on this topic, I just want to give a quick shout out to my my Twitter friend and someone who I follow, and I like their comic a lot. I've been reading it for like the past year now as it updates slowly. Shout out to Max from Twitter. Shout out to Max Graves at Maximum Graves on Twitter. His comic, What Happens Next, and its first chapter, Dog Names. Dog names you can read. You can just read for the first chapter and start the comic by going to Maximum Graves' Twitter account and reading the pinned post. That's chapter 1. The point is, Max has been asked, because there's a few things that don't quite line up with our reality, like COVID didn't happen, and a couple other things. But Max has been asked about, like, well, so what, is this set in our world, or what's with the changes? And he said, it takes place in a universe where Seth MacFarlane died in 9/11.
No!
Yeah. And so somebody asked him, like, does that mean there was no more Family Guy? It was canceled after 2 seasons? And he said, no, it's like a show where the original creator dies and the showrunner who was running it, like, takes over, and it limped along for a few more seasons, but it wasn't nearly as popular as it was in our reality.
No.
So there's a few changes, there's a few differences between the reality that What Happens Next takes place in and ours, but chiefly Seth MacFarlane died in 9/11.
That would have the most monumental butterfly effect. I would be so sad.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody go read What Happens
Oh.
Next. It's my favorite.
Of course, you realize if 5 Mark Wahlberg stop 9/11 from happening, then there's never any My Chemical Romance, which means this stand might not happen.
Oh, God.
Wow, Mark,
no.
that was actually a wonderful wraparound. Like, you just bookended the whole fucking podcast. That was a good callback.
Yeah.
Let's just end the show now. Fuck it. Just kidding.
I was about to say, just end the podcast. Just cut it off.
Just end it.
We still have like 4 pages.
No.
I'm just gonna end it. I'm just gonna kill
No,
myself.
it can't be. I refuse. I've never heard of such a thing. What? No, it can't be. I've never heard of such a thing.
What
I
even
must
was
be
that?
dreaming. That was the old man from the Alan adventure.
Oh,
He tells him-
yes, of course.
Not to be rude, but why don't you just try your very long nose? He goes, well, no, it can't be. I've never heard of such a thing.
That's incredible.
But I suppose it wouldn't. I suppose it would be worth a try.
Do you do you have strong feelings on the first few episodes of Smiling Friends of season 2?
Have strong. I think they're really funny. If that's what you're asking.
I am not in love with them. I liked the first episode. The Gwimbly episode was good.
I like the Gwimbly episode a lot.
I liked it. It's pretty solid. Me and my friends will reference to each other. Remember when I used to beat your ass over the creamed corn? yeah, I remember. Like, that's so
Yeah,
funny that he
I
answers
remember.
like that, because, like, that's only a happy memory for one of us, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
But he's playing into it just to
Wembley
give
episode
Gwimbly
is good.
something.
I didn't really much care for the President Jimble episode.
Oh no, I love the President Jibble episode.
It was okay,
I-
but like every time I have to listen to that guy talk, I'm like, oh,
No,
Jesus.
I love President Jimble. He's the best.
I liked that Mr. Frog came back, but I wanted more of him. Like, if you're gonna bring back Mr. Frog, have him actually be in the fucking episode.
No.
Ah.
No, you're wrong.
And then this third one, the Alan adventure, I was like excited for, but then we get to the end of it and I'm just kind of like, oh, huh. I guess that's it. I guess he just gets back with a paperclip.
I like the episode. I don't think the finishing punchline is my favorite.
No, and also it's, well, I guess you have to do this sometimes, but most of the time Smiling Friends, like, it seems like it's going to end like a normal cartoon on like a happy moment, like guess we learned something today. And then it just devolves into complete utter fucking chaos right before the credits kick in. This one was just like quiet and nothing happened, and then the credits kicked in.
Which
and
I don't mind.
You do
I just
have
don't...
to do that sometimes.
Yeah, I just don't care for the way that it I wish the little Mr. Boss did like a dance or something.
Yeah, right? If it just...
Yeah, he just does like a little shimmy or something, like indicates that he has some level of
that would be so
sentience.
funny if the Charlie was just like, oh, it looks like there's actually a button on the back of this thing, and it does a little dance and plays a little song, and then all of a sudden Pim and Alan are like, oh, whoa, that actually is really cool, and Alan's like, can I have that back actually?
He's like, no, dude, it's mine. You gave it
It's
to me.
my
No takes
dude.
it back.
I'm sorry.
No,
you
no,
gave
no
it to me
take
fair and
backs.
square. And
No,
I
dude,
won it. I loved it. Thank you, Mr. Boss. And he's like, thank you, Charlie. You're
Yeah.
welcome, Charlie.
I love Mr. Boss.
Yeah. It's weird when Mr. Boss has those moments of gentleness and normalness, because you're like,
That's the
he's
thing
a real
is he's
guy.
like
he's
at
very
his
weird and
core-
very eccentric, but he's
at
like
his
he's actually
core,
just a
Mr.
regular guy.
I saw someone pointed out on Twitter that at his core, Mr. Boss is a good guy. Like in the episode, The Frowning Friends, at
He
that
doesn't
climax,
want to go crazy and kill them. He legitimately doesn't want to.
Not
He's like
only
fighting
that-
against his reflection in the mirror.
Not only that, but when Grimm starts breaking down crying, Mr. Boss immediately flips back and he makes him smile.
Yeah, he comforts him. He doesn't even deserve it, but he gives it to him anyway.
Exactly, and you can
guys,
see why he.
Excuse me.
What?
Guys, we need to wrap this up. I have to go, like, in 5 minutes.
Hold
Fuck,
on.
you're right. Okay,
We need to do 4 pages in 5 minutes.
we can do it.
Let's
We
go.
can do
that.
it. The point is, Charming
'cause
Man
he
has got the
grabs
stand.
the stand.
He's grabbed it with the eyeball chunks, the eyeball crumbs, with his Doctor Wu powers, and then he starts getting some smoke, asbestos, whatever,
starts
coming out of his
oozing,
eyeball.
Yeah.
And then, the stand is in there going Busha, and then he's like, ah, and then Dragona's
Busha.
like, huh? And then Paco's like, ah, and then Usagi's like, ooh, ah, no way, Charming Man.
No way, dude. Whoa, cowabunga.
Your eyeball went all weird.
Everyone's getting cancer, so Dragona got the cancer independently of Charming Man, who got it from touching the stand. So maybe Dragona has a little stand inside of her. And then the girl that got taken away by the ambulance is the daughter of a politician who is also trying to take down Howler. So my closing thoughts is maybe that guy will become an ally, and maybe he's the alternate universe Diavolo in a change of events, because with the daughter, and maybe they save the daughter from the cancer stand, and then they fight Howler together. Yippee.
Can we not get any more fucking party members for a minute, please? We have enough.
No!
Why
They
do
had
you want
6.
more party? We have to. Can they kill one person, please? They haven't killed anybody yet. I'm literally like, I'm thirsty for bloodlust.
No.
I think, I think, like, you were asking, because you were asking about the Howler logo and how that's going to show up in the anime, because it was originally shown in a speech bubble.
Yes.
And so, like, here we see it in the clouds. So,
Right.
Yeah.
there's your answer.
It's just really funny. It's just there. on
That's the
clouds.
level of advertising they operate on.
I wonder if this is just another non sequitur that her father is a politician trying to take down Howler, or if that actually is going to
That's
go anywhere.
definitely related. It's like the force
I
of
hope
calamity.
so.
Like, it can just tell
Yeah.
if you're pursuing it.
I do hope he's a significant character.
All right,
If
so
not,
Charming
like-
Man, Paco's like, hey, your face, you're getting sick too, aren't you? It's because he touched the enemy stand. The bits of his eyeball, they're linked to Charming Man's right eye. This is bad, let it go. Just touching it is dangerous. Just a little more and I'll have it dragged outside. Call it off. What's forming there is cancer. Back off right now. And now Dragona's fucking fucked as well. And then, the registry office thing, Howler, unconscious, daughter of the congressman, her father's a politician. Howler
at the very
in the
least,
clouds.
if not a party member, I do think he'll be an ally because, hey, we defeated the stand that gave your daughter cancer.
So,
Can we
if
have,
if only this team had a long-range stand user with with selective targeting.
Yeah.
Wait, you're saying that like we do have that. Oh, no, you're saying like we're gonna... Yeah, I get it.
We're gonna get the cancer guy.
Lame.
No.
I will only forgive making the party fucking like 6 people big right at the beginning if at least a couple of them die soon.
Okay, what if instead of dying, this charming man permanently loses his eyeball to the cancer stand, and then he has like a Metal Gear Solid eye patch?
My god, that would be so cool. But also, Araki would never do that because he does not like giving his characters permanent injuries that he has to keep track of.
That is true. You're very correct about this.
We had a chance with Josuke.
And he retconned it within like the next 3 chapters. It was so sad.
That was so cool! I'm so pissed! The rock eye was not there!
I also still don't understand how he was able to effortlessly retcon it because it was coming out of the pupil of his eye.
Yes! God fucking damn it! It should have, when the little things latched onto his face and ripped off his rocks in the water puddle at the hospital, it should have ripped out his eyeball!
It should have ripped out his eyeball.
It should have ripped out his eyeballs!
Then again, he probably would have just said, soft and wet, soft me a new eyeball up.
It's not how that works, man!
It would be for the one moment that he needs it to be.
Yeah. Alright, does anybody have anything else to say about this chapter?
He would have... Wait. He would have put a bubble in his eye socket.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would have been so fucking cool. He can just see out of the star shape on the bubble.
I was about to say, it would have been the star shape coming out of his eye. That would have been
his
so cool.
pupil. Somebody
That
draw
would
that.
have been the best.
Somebody
Someone draw that right now. Someone draw the canon Josuke.
Oh my god. Alright. I think that's it for this episode. I mean, what do we... I mean, I don't even give a fuck. Like, this is a good episode. I had a good time. Let's stop pretending the show needs a format. We don't have to close with anything in particular. We don't have to close with predictions or fucking...
I hope this stand is called My Chemical Romance, or at least named after one of the My Chemical Romance songs.
I also hope that, and now I'm going to list my favorite N-words.
Oh boy.
I hope for an awesome courtroom scene, stand battle
Yes, I hope we get the courtroom theme. Now that we've talked it into existence,
you know
I'll
what
actually
will
be
the deciding factor on whether or not that actually happens? Did Araki just watch Breaking Bad, or did he watch Better Call Saul too?
Oh boy.
Because if he saw Better Call Saul too, he's not going to be able to resist that awesome courtroom scene.
He really won't. He's easily swayed by the media he takes part in.
Bro,
he literally came up with fucking scary monsters because he was like, Jurassic Park is cool.
Yeah, I like Jurassic Park. That shit's awesome.
Jurassic Park. I like the idea. I watched Independence Day. I like a president who can fight. Okay. I'm putting that in JoJo now.
That's funny.
He is a funny guy.
Alright, well, I guess that's we'll see you next time. I guess.
Drop a comment below of your favorite N-words in chat.
I kind of forgot we did that. That was so long ago on the podcast.
You're the one who started it. I just want to get that for the record.
The thing is that I already have like a pre-made list of all my favorite N-words. So,
yeah,
I didn't even have to think about it very hard.
What does that say about you?
That I'm knowledgeable. I got
That's
words
an N-word.
memorized. It's not.
No.
It's not. Starts with a K.
Yeah, see, you know your way around a word.
I know my letters. And the letters I'm giving to yo ass right now just happen to be B-Y-E.
What does that spell?
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.